Alright, I'm gonna test this and do this again. I'm back. Can you hear me? Shane Lowe, good to see you. I've been talking to the void. Let's do this again. Welcome back to Humber Pie. I'm your host, Jimmy D, and I'm back again for today's Monday stream, this special stream, where I'm going to be doing some new things today. I've been talking to the Void for the last 10 minutes. I really appreciate Sai saying something. A little bit difficult when you don't have someone on the other side, and I probably should have something else to check to make sure you guys can hear me, but it would not be a Humber Pie stream if Twitch wasn't screwing my audio somehow, and I was just not getting through. So, let me start all over again and start to get you guys back into it. So true that, absolutely. Thank you so much for the chat. I do have some new announcements and things to cover. So just get everyone caught up. I spent the entire day yesterday getting the baseball cards finalized, getting the deck list out there, which you guys might have seen if you're on the Patreon account. I got a bunch of the clips together. I meshed the interviews together, clipped a lot of stuff to in the editor, tried to make the format a little more clean, cut out the awesome surprise thing I want to show you guys in the middle of the stream here, because we had an awesome thing happen and I'm really super excited to showcase that to you guys, but we'll do that a little bit later. Devs502, Yodi Brody, good to see you, and welcome back to the chat. We do have some packs to give away, as we normally do, and that's what everybody in here in the chat should be doing, because every time I go live, it's always on topic. One Piece is going to be covered today, but one of the things you guys didn't know that I worked out everything. The day of the tournament was high tension, high energy, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of things happened during that event. We're going to go over some of the like basic tournament overview and let you guys know how that went, and whether you guys want to try something similar, because we've been having a decent amount of success right now, especially with the local media, like doing these type of tournaments. But Spencer had to call out last minute. Everything was squared away. I worked all day yesterday getting everything finalized, ready to go for the stream to be as smooth as possible, and even that won't prevent me from Twitch cutting out my audio, or Spencer calling in and saying that he has to work and he can't come out tonight. So we're going to delay the championship until next week, next Monday, a week from today. I am going to cover today the Pirates Championship. This is a one game only because we had two different brackets. Like I said, we'll break this down and show you guys what we did, but I have the championship for one of the other brackets and those interviews, and we'll go over those today. We'll cut that out and we'll just leave the championship as a championship and this one as a separate video. For those who don't know, these are kind of like my flagships of the channel. These are the big runners, because obviously after 6-7 weeks of building you guys up, and this one being 12 weeks, building you guys up for all the events, having everyone show up every Tuesday, every Saturday, covering those events, showcasing the results of them, showcasing the points, the grind of everyone trying to get into the top tier bracket, that's all accumulating to this championship. So everything that we've been doing up to this moment leading to this big championship that we hosted this Saturday. And it was a blast. I think it went off very well. I think everything went the way it could go, but I will tell you right now, I learned a lot from the experience of running this tournament, and patience is key and flexibility is key. One of the things that I've kind of figured this out a long time ago in my life, but it's one of the things that I apparently had to communicate to a few other people during the day. As things kept falling apart, timing wasn't being met right, calendars weren't being matched up right, people were getting misinformation out there. Some people thought the start time was at 2. One of the calendars said it was at 2. I kept saying noon. I kept telling people noon. I've been advertising noon, but it happens. Like, miscommunication can happen. Sometimes you just get lost in sauce. When you're running a card store, and I'm not personally running it, I'm just helping with organizing tournaments and whatnot, you're gonna miss some stuff. You're gonna lose track of things. You're gonna have issues with trying to organize it. We had 8 events this championship day. We had Star Wars kickoff and pre-release. We had the Pokemon kickoff and pre-release. We had the championship series. We had side events on the championship series. We had Union Arena. We had the Riftbound first Nexus event that we've ever had. We had a Chaos draft scheduled for that night. There was just so much being crammed into this day, and we've had issues with Some of the staff couldn't show up because of family emergencies. Some of them slept in, so we're in chaos mode because we didn't have the staff to cover and get a little nervous. Luckily, that got covered. We had just anything that you can imagine possibly could go wrong in some cases did go wrong, but we overcame it. And as a group, especially with me and Midnight in the studio and all the help that I get from the side from those individuals, I really appreciate. It means a lot because it helps smooth these things over when you're trying to run interviews, you're judging the events, you're running events on the side, you're trying to get to make sure everybody's paying and organized and everybody's up to where they need to be, and that we can kick off each event, get the prize support ready for each event. All that stuff seems rather like, oh duh, you're doing these things, but it adds up over time. It adds up with a lot of things being run at the same time. I've got a lot of modes and things I had to do to cover as the organizer for this championship, so certain things kind of fell through the cracks, and some things we just picked up and figured it out. I screwed up the was it the top 8 bracket for the championship that got corrected with a simple pen fix and moved the names. I'm glad that there were people there to catch me. But that's what happens when you're trying to organize so many different things and get so many people into a group. And I'm sure if you guys have ever done like a D&D group or something like that, you know what I'm talking about. It's hard. You got to get everyone in the room at the same time. You got to get everybody here at the same time. You're trying to get like kick off this thing, and of course the players don't want to behave the way you want them to because you're trying to run this organization. It doesn't matter. It's not on them to have to behave. It's on me to make a structured environment for them to perform well in and just enjoy their time. And I think overall, it went great. We have some people here. Sai in the chat here. I'd love to hear, and Shane Lowe as well, who I'd love to hear their thoughts in the chat to see how they felt that the tournament went and how they, what they didn't like about it. I'd like to see some feedback in the Discord as well. If you guys have time, please. We already got it started with Curly doing some great work and getting you guys primed for that, but I need that feedback in order to create better and better seasons for you, because we are a smaller store right now, but we'd like these events to eventually grow to the big masses. I'd like to see these events get reached to all those people that can only be online to see me, like Devs 502, individuals that are out there that want to be a part of this this championship series and get some better prize support and get some more tournament play and stuff we're going to talk about in a minute. I'd like to open it up to you, but it takes getting the kinks out of the small stuff here so I can actually prepare for bigger and bigger events, getting better prize support out there for you, getting these things organized, and how many bodies do I need? How many things do I need? Because I need all of that feedback, because that's what's going to help us grow and let me know, am I physically able, or do I have the finances available? Do I have the personnel available to make this happen? To create these and get these events out to you guys, because I want desperately to get these events out to all of you, because I don't think there's enough in our card games. We don't have enough regionals, and that's something we'll talk about in a minute. Get in the chat here. Sai says, I thought it was great, and I'm torn about best of 1 and best of 3. It's been Sai, that has been a debate in this community, especially for a very long time. I think it's been a very 50-50 debate. If you really look at it, a lot of people like the best of 1. They're like, guys, I gotta go. I want to hurry this up. These games are long. I think personally, the games are long because they are best of 1. So people play slower because they're afraid they're going to make a mistake, and if they do make a mistake, that the whole tournament's over. I think when you play best 2 out of 3, and someone who's done this my entire card game career, people will learn to play faster because they realize they got to get going. You'll get more concessions in situations where you know it's an unwinnable situation, and people just move to the next game. You're going to see more of that you do not see in best of 1. People will fight tooth and nail to the last second, even though it's a completely untenable situation, and you'll see them spend 5-10 minutes looking at their hand, looking at you, looking at their hand, and not dealing with the fact that this game's over. The game, you don't have the answers. There is no answer here. I'm not saying don't think it through, but I've got 2 cards in hand. My opponent has 5 attackers. I've got 1 life. If they're not 2 blockers, you're not really doing much. Swing and end the turn, but you'll see people, they'll sit there with no real answer, and they'll stall and they'll take their time. But that stuff doesn't happen best 2 out of 3. It just goes by faster. My side, obviously, you can tell by the 2 different sides that I'm on the best 2 out of 3 fan, because I've been playing best 2 out of 3 for the longest time, and I know when you're playing a game of chance, game of randomization and cards that are just random, they're going to be games that are just not a game. You're not going to play the game you want to. You're going to draw bad. You're going to have all non-bricks or all bricks in your hand. Or you're going to have the low side of your deck, or you're going to have the high side of your deck, and things are not going to work out well. And it's going to be a dumb game that really shouldn't even been a game. And it's going to be sad if it's in a major event that your entire tournament was over because you had a bad hand, which is bound to happen because it's random. That's what makes these games fun. It's random. So in that, best of one will always have that, which means you're going to have to push to get lucky and hope that you built the most consistent deck and you got good shuffling skills and you do pretty well. And you're going to see more tops from random decks because it's not really a refined format. It's, did I get lucky enough? And some people like that. They enjoy it. They want to play it. And it's good on them. Let the players play it. Getting up in the chat, Chainsaw says, it was chill. Everyone had a good time. Some hiccups, but all the feedback I've heard from the other folks who participated were positive. Thanks, Chainlow. I appreciate that. Sai says, just because OP can be so dependent on matchup, I think best of one helps worse matchups. There's more to that as well. Sai, there's some stuff that I've been finding out from looking at some of the cards and hearing people's conversations where I like this card because it's really good in this matchup, but it's only good in this matchup. You know what they call that? It's called a side deck. So if you have a very bad matchup against a certain deck, but you have cards in your color that can help you in that bad matchup, side deck. And that's where best 2 out of 3 comes in, where you have these absolutely atrocious bad matchups where cards that are just dead draw cards, right? They're just not good against this matchup. You could take those out and put cards in that are actually better against that matchup, and they can do the same thing. So introducing a sideboard could overcome some of the issues where there are literally just bad matchups and also bad hands and stuff like that. And that's where best 2 out of 3 enables you to have a side deck, enables you to have the capability to do that. And I honestly, if the new poll wins right now that we have out there, the best 2 or 3 wins, I'm thinking about introducing a side deck option as well. Let you guys see some of those cards that you don't see play. There's literally cards that are built and designed to help you beat other decks. They printed them for that reason, so the matchup wasn't so bad. The problem is I can't put it in my deck if it only works against that deck, and it's just a dead card in the other situation. That means it doesn't see play at all. And that's why you're seeing a lot of people not play these cards. And I think that needs to be a factor. If you're looking at some of these abilities and some of these effects, and when we read over cards and releases, we're like, that's good situationally. Well, that means it's a side deck card. If it's only good situationally, you're not going to play it in your main deck because you're trying to go away from your main deck strategy. So introduce the best 2 out of 3 with the side deck, and you can fix some of those issues. Sai says, of course, this may lead to frustration of the person the matchup favors. It doesn't matter, because if you're really good at the game, you can pivot, and you can also overcome whatever it is. Congratulations, you're in there. You want the game to be as competitive as possible. Just because you have the deck, oh, this auto beats. It's like, one, no, it doesn't. No deck auto beats. There's variance. There's a lot of variance. You don't just win just because you showed up. It's just variance. So, but if you're the better player and you can pivot your strategy and work against those certain decks, it adds a level of skill. Not to the point where it's only skill, but adds a level of skill. And skill is what makes people like intrigued to play more competitively. If it's all just a luck-based game, unless it's the lottery or some kind of gambling thing, nobody cares. Nobody cares. The game's gonna die. Sai says, best of 3, I feel is the most guarantee that the person with the better matchup wins. Could be, could be. Which is frustrating for the other. It can be. I mean, you are ways to get around it. There are ways to beat certain strategies. I've seen a lot of games where people will pivot their playstyle. There was a particular game that I want to cover next week, but if you stay tuned to it, one of the players pivots his playstyle to end up gaining an advantage against the matchup because he realized he was playing the deck inappropriately versus the matchup he was seeing. And I want to cover that with you. You guys stay tuned next week. I'll show you. Curly, good to see you. Chainlaw says, if One Piece had side decks, I'd be more into best of 3. All right, that makes sense, yeah. And I think that should be something we should introduce. Sai says, 59 says, true, but we don't have sideboards in OP yet. Doesn't mean we can't do that. Doesn't mean we can't do that. So that may be something to introduce in the next tournament. Yeah, absolutely. It's something we can, in your feedback, guys, your feedback actually really helps us introduce these things and these features. We don't have to live by whatever the Bandai thing is unless we're doing a Bandai sanctioned tournament. And since these One Piece championships are my and Chris's interpretation of what tournaments we want to run, that's what it is. We get to, we get to run it the way we want to, and maybe even create something that might take flight with other people to participate in those type of tournaments. And that's what the feedback is for. It's why we're trying these different experiences and different experiments to see what can improve the current gameplay. Because while some people like best of one, some people like best 2 out of 3, some people like there's certain things where I have, if you guys watch some of my Union Arena content that's coming out soon, I've literally got videos showing you guys how bad Union Arena is at best of 1. You can have games that are literally just unplayable, and that's not a good feeling. They're going to happen very rarely if you built your deck correctly, but they do happen. And since they do happen, you're going to have something like best 2 out of 3 to fix those situations. Hey, you got your pets. Don't bite me. No, you're good. You're good. All right, so I digress. Guys, I want to do something to start things off here, right? I want to go over that tournament structure with you. I do want your feedback. Keep feeding me that feedback while you can. Tell your friends to start feeding out there, because don't forget, if tonight at the end of this, we are going to be giving away 2 packs of PRB. No hits taken. Not a single one has been hit from the actual 6-hit ratio. However, there are even more hits because there's a lot of PRB locked cards in here, and we gave one of those Trafalgar Laws away too. So that Trafalgar Law is out of the box. This is the SR, but the Marco is potentially still in one of these packs. The Lucky Roo that might go up in future formats. Guys, these cards that are locked to this game, don't forget EBO2. Everyone's like, these cards are okay, whatever. Skyrocketed. Cavendish, all the rest of those cards just absolutely to the moon because they were locked in that set. That's what's likely going to happen for a lot of these cards too in future sets when we see future card releases and people are like, oh, I like that card from PRB2. Can I get some? Sadly not, because Bandai didn't print enough. But I digress. They're going to be out there and they're going to be valuable and they're going to go up. So keep your hands on that and keep your eyes sealed to that. All right. First things first, I want to introduce something I'm going to start doing weekly with you guys. So a little side story, if you guys are in the Discord in our local meta here, I woke up today to find out that they finally found a venue for Hazelnuts. Good to see you. I finally found a venue for Orlando to host the Union Arena Regionals and the Gundam Regionals. Something I've been super excited to try to participate in. They stopped sales for all the tickets for everything, and they didn't know if there's going to be a venue. They didn't know what's going to continue. There's been this long case that you guys might not have been paying attention to of somebody apparently bought out the mall or wherever it was being hosted, and they said, okay, we're going to find a new venue, but stay tuned. We'll get you there. In Orlando, yes, in Orlando. It's supposed to be on the 6th to the 8th. It is on the 6th to the 8th. They announced they have a venue. They have it locked in. They updated their website and told everybody, hey, register here for December 6th. The sad part is I had no idea that the registration for this was in September. I want to attend things like this. I'd like to be a part of these things. But as long as Bandai, and this is something that's going to be a big topic for today's stream, Bandai keeps limiting the attendance for these tournaments, which is getting increasingly infuriating. Limiting the attendance. You're really stifling the capability of your own game. But because they sold out in seconds, which is a good thing if you want to see the health of your card game, that's great. Sold out in seconds and minutes. The bad thing is anybody else that finds out about, like when I do, it's on a wait list, and I'm not going to go down to Orlando on a wait list. I'm not going to risk hundreds of dollars, even combined with people, to go down to Orlando to hope that I get in on a wait list. That's just too much. And these regionals for Bandai games are just getting absolutely ridiculous. Guys, I'm so freaking tired of seeing all these tournaments with a cap on them for massive tournament play when they don't have to be. They're giving away money. Stop capping these events like this. If you have the player base that's going to be 5,000, 6,000 people, stop capping the event. You want to see how successful your game is? Stop it. I've been playing Magic. I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I've been playing Pokemon. I've been playing all these other TCGs for years. And most of those tournaments, if ever, never capped it. They never put only this many people can attend. Because they expected they want to draw as many people as possible, and they could use those numbers to try and sell more product and get more of the stuff out there and celebrate their game. And these events are crazy good, crazy fun. You introduce artists, you bring in awesome sellers that are selling singles that you guys can do some trades and sales, and you could do some you know, some back and forth on trading your favorite cards for some of the other cards. You can trade slabs for slabs. You can get cash for your slabs and then try to go through and get something else and invest in, get some cool product or whatnot. Those events are crazy good and crazy good for money, especially if you're a big company and you're not doing that. And I'm like, why? Why are you not doing the thing that makes all these other card games so fun? Like it took a little bit for them to come back after COVID for Magic the Gathering, but they're back now. They're doing big tournaments now. They got Star City organizing these massive events where you've got artists to go get signatures from. You got these panels to talk about some of the upcoming stuff. You got great giveaways and product exclusives for wherever the event might be held, and all these really cool things that really bring the player base in. You get 6, 7, 8,000 people in a huge convention hall just spending money on your card game, and all those vendors that are sitting in there are paying you for the spot for the vending, so you get all this open space. But now we're in Bondi, and God, I love these games so much, don't get me wrong. Stop capping the tournaments. Stop it, please. I'm not gonna go down to Orlando on a wait list. I want to go down there so bad. I want to go down there and see if I can do well. That tournament could have been 9,000 people for all we know. Gundam is a super popular game that you, and right now, guys, if you didn't know, we're in a TCG war type scenario right now. Absolutely, if you haven't been paying attention, TCG market is being flooded with new games, old games. The competition is insane right now. Buying for as many of the customer base you possibly can, because there's a lot of people getting into this stuff in the TCG market. And honestly, it's to be expected. If I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, it's completely expected. You have the digital age coming through, trying to convince the masses that digital product is worth anything. We've had those was NFTs or whatever those were, trying to convince people that you invested in this digital piece of art, that this was somehow worth value of some sort. It's not. It's not. They tried to pull the wool over our eyes. They've tried to tell us that, oh, by you know having this meta universe and you can buy these houses for real money that are just digital crap that they could literally get rid of tomorrow. And all they got to do is turn off the server, or someone has to hack into it and you lose everything. And it's worth real money. It's not. These video games that are selling you games that are like not even what you originally, like not even to the IP anymore. They're just off the wall, not following through with their customer base, that they're just trying to go for these cash grabs, or they're putting these little like gotcha games and gotcha mechanics and all these video games that are on games that have a shelf life of who knows, could be a year, could be 5 years, and all the money invested in that gotcha mechanic is just gone. As soon as they shut down the server, yeah, hey, you invested $80,000. Some people do $80,000 into this game, gone. Thanks for your money. Have a good day. Thank you for this slightly fun and playable game that distracted me for a little bit. But we're getting more and more into this you don't own anything crap, and people are revolting against it. It's why I think Labubus are going up. I think those are honestly Labubus, I think legitimately are just another Beanie Babies type thing. I want to be careful with that, but you guys do you. If you like it, it's your thing. Have fun with it. But more and more people are moving towards owning your product, having something that you, at the end of the day, you can't take the game away from me, right? You might be able to hurt it in a lot of ways by adding support, but you cannot take the game away from me. The game will always be in the game pieces that I have. I'll always have the decks. I can always play this at my own leisure, and I will always have these game pieces. Some cases you're going to get some value in it, but you can't take this away from me. I own this, and at the end of the day, these things can go for astronomical prices. If you guys know about my boring story about how I owned a alpha booster box of Magic the Gathering, and could have sold it for a house today. It was sadly stolen, but that's not here nor there. At the time, it was $75. It was like, or $60. It was like $60 box. They took my alpha box. I lost $60, and I was working a little part-time job to try and afford it. And sadly, the person took off with it, and I don't have it anymore. At the time, it didn't mean anything. Now, could have afforded a house with that alpha box. That's if I would have kept it sealed, which, who knows? I mean, I'm getting pretty good at keeping things sealed, if you ask me. But these things do have value, and they can have some great value and can be a decent investment, so long as you're willing to sit on it. I don't know about the quick turnarounds, quick stuff like that market's always been too crazy for me. I don't really go for it because there's too much FOMO, there's too much loss, too much uncertainty that just leads into what feels like bad stock and trade stuff, where you're getting those rug pulls or you're getting random stuff. That's why I don't buy in the first couple weeks when the set comes out. I don't get involved with a lot of the market that happens to be in the beginning, because it's just, as we've all said, I mean, the prices always drop once the product hits the market. It's the common theme for these card games. If you get on the initial start, you get out there and you start buying all the product, and you're like, hey, quick sell, this thing's going for $80, this is going for $80. If you don't find a buyer in the two weeks, that $80 card's $20. Easy, $20, done. And that's because the FOMO got to these people. That's why I don't participate in it. I don't agree with it. I like cards at a decent value, especially if the playable need to play cards. And everything else, like the mangas, the alts, and the really cool stuff, that being expensive, that makes sense to me. I think Bandai is the only card game that's actually figured it out correctly. And it comes to ratios and how to make sure that the game pieces are cheap, but there are still chase cards to make it valuable. And Bandai just excels at it. So, all of that to say, let's go check out the current schedule, because every single video on Monday, I am going to be checking these websites to verify when events are happening, so you don't make the same mistake I did and miss an opportunity to register for offline regionals in your local area. So yeah, basically in the beginning, it looks like I have to go to 3 different sites. I want Gundam, I want One Piece, and I want Union Arena, because I care about all the Bandai games. I love these games right now. But I'm going to have to go to these pages every single week to make sure that I'm prepared to register. The event I want to participate is here, but sadly, it's waitlisted automatically, so I won't be able to actually participate in this mixed regional. I would have loved to attend this event. It looks like so much fun. I would have loved to get another shot, get myself in top 16, maybe in the top 8 to get one of those really cool prizes and cards for Union Arena. These were going to be held on different days, so I could have done Gundam as well. I haven't played any high-level Gundam stuff, so I don't know how well I would do, but I feel like I'm a decent player in it. We do pretty well in our locals here, and we got a great scene. Oh, Mike, good to see you. But yeah, this one is going to be waitlisted, and looks like there's nothing new been added to this. So if you're going to be out there, let's see, now this is the only one out there. If you make it, congratulations, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to root you on if you can make it into this event. But it looks like for the Gundam card game, the last event before Worlds next year in February, where I'll be going to Vegas. Let's see if they have that. Offline regionals. I want to see if they have it for you. The North American one's in Vegas on February, during Valentine's Day, which is just its own kind of thing. But here's some of the prize support we could have got if I was able to go. Kigali would have been, oh man, I wish I could have got this. This is one I'm actually currently playing right now. And this one too. No, gosh, this is like so many different decks. Gundam Lithfrit, this would have been great to have. And getting these in the tournament pack, but you can only get it in the offline regionals. Close Combat's going to be selling pretty high. That's a really good card. A lot of people playing this one. The resource pack here. We've gotten the bases for these things, but these look gorgeous. I was able to get a friend that was able to hook me up with this one. I love the G-Quux show. It's a great show. But these are some of the cards you can get in here. Looks like these are the alt arts for those cards that we just looked at. Right? Championship set 1. Oh, that's the same. Am I missing something? No, that's the same. Okay. You get the finalist Hirohei, one of the best pilots and one of the best decks. Green-white right now, dominant here. Red Hero. Definitely one of the absolute best pilots in the game right now. No, Amuro Ray is the best pilot, excuse me. By far, Amuro Ray is the best pilot in the game. It is the most powerful card in the game. But funnily enough, not strong enough to be the most consistent and best deck, considering green-white is just too good with its blockers and that wing Gundam just being absolutely over oppressive. 8/8, surprisingly, really good card. especially if you can get there. And speaking of the 8.8, here's the Wing Gundam in itself here in the alt art. This one's got now 3 different alts to it, but still, this is the king of the format right now. It's been absolutely dominating. Comes out, does 3 damage to any level 5 or lower, which is pretty much what most people play. It's a nice little like board wipe. If you play around it, it's a single-sided board wipe. And it's got high maneuver, so you can't block it, and it just usually comes in for game. Very, very effective. Judge packs here. Marita Cruz is probably going to be hot demand. Ooh, I like this Demi Trainer. Draw a card, then discard a card. Did I miss this somewhere? Where did this come out? GDO1? Oh, it's because it's got 1 point. Yeah, that's the only reason I'm not playing it. Too many ping decks. Way too many ping decks. This thing just dies. Good card, but sadly, there's just too many things that just do 1 damage to enemy units. But as it looks like there is no new update for the Gundam outside of this. Hey, Midnight Witch, thank you for the subscription. Good to see you. I was sadly muted, but I was complimenting you quite profusely, saying thank you for helping with the tournament this weekend. It was really nice and incredibly helpful. Thank you for being there. A lot of help. I needed it. That day was busy as all get out. Emotionally driven. You know what I'm talking about. All right, into the One Piece Championship. I don't believe there's any new updates for us here. North America to be announced. They're only talking about the Worlds event, or the Nationals event right now, which will be in Vegas. I love that they still haven't updated this yet. But it will be in February, it will be in Vegas, and it will be during Valentine's Day. I remember seeing a sign that even said that they were going to have this. So, a little confused that they haven't updated the page here, because we all know where it's going to be. But there's a Season 2 Invitational. Got some prize pack stuff. Oh man, these look so good. Love the Roronoa Zoro. Dawn times 2. Yep. That's the red. Oh man, this is the one I was trying out to some success in Rayleigh. Here's the featured card list that, oh, here we go. Gotta get my boy. I've got a single copy of this. I'm really happy about this one. But gosh dang, look. What do they do to this poor boy? Look at his face. Thank you, Midnight. I love this card the most because it's just, what did you do to this boy? What did you do to traumatize this poor boy? Koala would have been nice for my Bella Betty deck. Lim, nice little upgrade for Lim decks. This is a great card. Oh, and Roronoa Zoro for the blue-purple Luffy, red-purple Luffy. Let's see. I feel like these are older ones. Haven't we passed this already? Am I taking crazy pills? Because I feel like these are really old. Have they updated it to something new? And these sleeves look kind of standard. The Dawn you could get through your local area. This is always nice to get if you can get the side events. Still chasing this bad boy. Someday you'll be mine. Someday. Not today, but someday. Zoro, says Midnight. Little Pound Cake, good to see ya. All right, Dragon. No, sorry, Spandine. Almost look like Dragon from the back end. I should have seen the cost. Here we're getting into some of the new stuff here. Oh, here we go. Eustace Kid. This one's great. Great in red purple. With enough dollars, you can be yours, right? Kobe, Roronoa Zoro. Man, this one looks so good. 4 cost 6,000. Rest up to one of your opponent's characters that cost 6 or less. Super good. Here's my Tony Chopper. Someday I need to get this one. This is adorable. Nami. Beautiful. East blue card. Chandler says the kid is the old one, actually. Is it the old one? I'm wondering why this page is showing me older stuff. Shouldn't this be to this current format now? Because I know they're giving these things away right now. Or is this older? Isn't it? This is the Shanks on it? The Zero, I just have to collect the Akiragawa arts. Yeah, right? Forecast the Ace. This is the newest one. Right? Roronoa Zoro? Serialized? I think we're on the ace now for cereal. Okay, we're on the ace. All right. Oh, man. See, this is why I would love to get to some more of these regionals, so I had another chance and help Spencer out and get this thing. Zoro's the next set of events, I believe. Okay. We're going to be a lot of people looking for this Zoro, that's for sure. Uncut sheets. God, I love these. I click on them, but there's no click. Let's see. Yeah. But it looks like there is no updates to the schedule yet. This will get kind of repetitive, but I will be checking these every single week from here on out. Every Monday, you guys can come in and I will give you a 5-minute update to see if there's any new updates to regional qualifiers. Because I'm not going to fall for the same mistake and miss out on an offline regional championship like I did with this one. Next time, I will be prepared. I will be able to make this versus registration. But sadly, waitlist. And this thing sold out in minutes. And this is again why it's so infuriating that Bandai keeps putting caps on this. There's no reason to put caps in here. Get a big enough room to hold for 5,000 people and let anyone who wants to attend this thing. More people just means better competition, just means fun. I mean, you're already best of one. These tournaments are already ridiculously fast. Bro, throw this in a huge event. People come out to everywhere coming to these games. Sell your product. Open it up to vendors. This is probably by far one of the most infuriating things of Bandai. Like out there. Do you guys feel like there's anything else they're doing wrong outside of like the people they're using to organize these need some work, but thinking the problem is staff. I mean, yeah, they do need to get the staff out there. They need to finance for the staff out there. It's not hard. A lot of cities, every single one of these convention halls has a contractor. Some of you guys might not know this, but cities have contract work. They have like these union workers. And in every city, in all these things, you can hire these union workers to come out and support these things. If they're at a convention hall, they have a certain level of staff that they can get at that convention hall to support these things. They can do the basics of buy, sell goods, or make sure that you got the metal detector and check for stuff and just verify that people are behaving the rules. No run in the halls type of stuff. But every single one of these cities has a union that you can work with to get the staff necessary to get there. Judge staff may be a little bit harder, but if you incentivize the judge staff a little bit better, you might be able to get those judges, because we've had some great judges, in my opinion, when it comes to Bandai. But personnel-wise, I feel like that's not a great answer, because I know for a fact that every single one of these cities has a union that has a group of people that they can call on any given weekend and have them help out and support in these functions. All these big convention halls have this. So what it comes down to is you have to be willing to put up the money for a convention hall. You're a big company, you can do it. And if you're saying, well, what if I lose money? That's what bringing in other vendors does. When you bring in artists who pay for a space and then give autographs and charge for autographs. You bring in outside vendors who want to sell singles to help people play in these tournaments, and then can buy singles from people and trade singles for people so they can participate in these tournaments and make money. But they pay for the space, so you save money by bringing in those vendors to sit in those spaces. And then they help with staff too, because they help you with organizing and selling stuff. And on top of that, you can get people to sell more than what you're willing to sell at the Bandai booth, which is never everything you have. It's only a sliver of what you have, where these guys can bring in the other stuff that you didn't have, like older boxes that maybe they've been holding on to, and stuff that people are looking to chase after. You could bring in, I love the Tony Chopper thing. That was great. You could bring in a lot of different things to kind of like sell the space and get your money back. You're a big multi-billion-dollar company. I think you can afford it. Braindead, good to see you. I honestly think you really need to, especially as we're going to keep talking about this. We're in TCG wars, guys. They're all out there. Everyone's fighting for the spot to be number one. And I'm going to go over the best selling here in just a minute. Bandai, if you want to win this, and I want you to, because I still feel like you're the only one who's doing the pricing for the game pieces and the gotcha, whatever, the chase card mechanic right. You're the only one that has this formula actually figured out correctly. The game pieces are cheap enough to get people to enter. It's easy for people to pick up a box and play in the game, and you are giving away prizing that it has its own value outside of the game that people are chasing after, and it's got value to it. So keep that formula. Just open these regionals up to more people. Stop with the wait list and stop with the we underestimated how much the demand was. You know how many people register in your event. You know where they're located. You could not be gaslighting people more. It is so infuriating to read that. You were in the information age. You have access to details that companies around the world would have killed for back in the day to get demographics on how many people in what region play what game, do what, spend their money on. You have access to all of this information. We have sold our entire identities online for a simple acknowledgement and a cheap app. You have the technology. Stop telling me you don't know how many people are interested in your game. I'm not stupid. The people are not stupid. Print more. Open the tournaments up. That's all I'm saying. You are in the information age. You do not get to use the excuse of, I wasn't home, so I didn't pick up my dial-up. Only a few people are going to get that. We went from an age where I could literally just not answer my phone and use the excuse I wasn't home. You can't do that anymore. You have a cell phone. It's attached to you at all times. You can't get away from life. It's always on you. You don't get the excuse anymore. So you can't use, we didn't anticipate the amount of people that are interested in this product. You can't use it anymore. This isn't the 1980s. You don't have the luxury of saying we didn't have proper demographics. We didn't do surveys properly. We didn't have, that's our structure. Like as a local game store, that's our struggle bus. We're trying to figure out where's the player base? How many people do we have? If people are interested, are we advertising to them? Are we pulling them in the stop? That's our lane. That's our difficulty, not yours. You own an app and you ask for permission to take all my identity stuff so you can have all that information. Use it. And stop telling me after I had to give you all my information that you don't know I exist. All right, here we go. Brain Dead enable 1 month followers for the mood in this room. Clear the chat room and moderators viewing the room. What is going on? Slow mode for this. Brain Dead, what are you doing? Sly Hunter, thank you very much. I appreciate that. My phone was dead. Sorry. Well, I mean, yeah, you do have that. You do have that. However, if it rings multiple times, they know you're lying. If they ring, because every single phone now says if it's dead, it's just going to go immediately off. So if it rings multiple times, they're going to know you're lying. So you got to be worried about that. Brandon says, I did something accidentally. I didn't know what I was doing. Okay. Can't stay long, but I wanted to say what happened to co-host. So Spencer could not make it tonight. He had to work last minute, and Marcus had to work last minute. So we had to cancel the championship till next week. Brain dead. You're just clicking buttons. MTG bans time to play standard. The Sly Hunter, that's coming up. It's coming up here in just a minute. He unlocked the pro mode. I guess there's so many things happening in my chat right now. But yes, next week, next Monday, we'll be covering it. Today, we do have at the very end of the stream, we're going to go over the Pirates Championship. That's one game. That's a championship for the bracket that we'll go over here later on. We'll talk about it later. But we will have a game and the pack giveaways at the end of that game. Right now, we're just talking about the state of TCGs and kind of like having an open discussion. But I want to go over the TCG wars. Now that we're going to do something like I told you every single week, tune in. The first thing we're going to go over is there any new updates to tournament championships around the U.S. and hopefully keep you guys informed so you don't miss your chance to get into regional. I don't want to miss a chance again, so I'm going to make sure that you don't either. Stay tuned for that. I really like Uno. Okay. Let's check out the best-selling card games. Sermon, welcome to the chat. Good to see you. Guys, that's not going to be the only soapbox I'm going to get today. You're going to see me go off on a lot of things right now. Most of my frustrations with some of the other card games. Every single card game, I think, right now has an issue. And if they're willing to overcome it, they can win the wars. At the moment, still at the best-selling, not necessarily the best performing, Magic the Gathering. So the top. You want alt art wild cards? That'd be crazy. Pokemon, of course, this one's still up in the hot top because there's a lot of collectors in the market. The game it's losing its player base, but it still has a great collector market to keep it very healthy. Yu-Gi-Oh! Still at number 3. This is this quarter, by the way. The quarter 3, 2025. This is the last remaining data from September. So this, obviously Q4 is gonna be Christmas sales. Those are gonna make a big change with Christmas sales. We'll see where it happens. So the most recent data, One Piece number 4, love to see it. I think it deserves to be up here. Gundam doing phenomenal in sales. So well that it keeps selling out and people can't get the product. Bandai. And the other thing that really frustrates me, Gundam is run by One Piece. Bandai, same company. Same company. They might be different divisions, different presidents, different CEOs, different people in charge. Are you not talking to each other? Are you not communicating with each other? One Piece went through a 6-month era of such dry stock and frustration with the customers that there wasn't enough being printed. We couldn't play the game. People just wanted the card stock. They went through this headache and they got their numbers and they fixed it. Right now we're in a decent, outside of this is the only exception. They don't do print enough. I will argue with that. But right now, One Piece is killing it when it comes to distribution. We're finally getting enough product on the shelves. We're finally getting enough where the scalpers aren't overpricing these boxes. We're finally getting enough so the players can play their game. They overcame it. Gundam, what are you doing? What are you doing? You have this company literally next door. Hey, we're having problems with printing runs. What number should we run? Oh, this is the formula we used. Oh, thank you. I'll use that formula and I'll print more. Now, I know you said that you didn't understand how the hype for this set was going to be. Lies. Print more. Get us the product. We need it to play the card game. It's number 5 on the market right now, and the demand is still high. You don't have enough out there. People can't play the game. We can't get the game pieces. This is one of the number 1 comments on Twitter I see every time you make a post. I would love to play this game if I could get the game pieces and not have to pay scalpers for them. Not gonna repeat that because I like Gundam. The Cyhunter says, but scarcity creates artificial perception of value. It can, but the only people that benefit from that are scalpers. The only people that benefit from that. And scalpers take away the money and the profits from you as a company. They make it terrible for the game player because they're forcing us to have to pay twice, which honestly creates an artificial barrier for entry for new players. Guys don't understand how card games work. You have to be bringing in new players constantly. People grow out tired of hobbies. They move on to something else. We have a billion things we could be doing. I could be playing video games right now. I could be watching Netflix right now. I could be sitting and taking a nap right now. There are thousands of things I could be doing right now. And I've taken the time to get on here. You've taken your time to see me, talk to you. That's one of the options you have. But people are going to move away from some of their hobbies sometimes. And if you don't have a player base to maintain and keep that player base healthy, you don't have a game. Because if there's nowhere to play it, no one plays it, the game kind of dies. This is what happens to some of these games we're going to talk about in just a minute when we get to this list. So if you have a scalper market where you created the opportunity for scarcity, an opportunity for someone to use a single credit card to buy out the local stock and then jack the price up, anyone who's not willing to pay, which is a lot of people because scalper prices are way too high, but anyone not willing to pay scalper prices doesn't play the game. Thus, you don't get new players, and eventually it can kill your game. Absolutely destroy it. Scalpers don't just ruin it in the fact that they price gate people from being able to get the product, but they price gate it from new players entering the game. Another topic we'll get into in just a minute when we talk about these other card games. But there. Who else is here for Digimon? I wish Sly Hunter. I'm sorry. Digimon made the list. Made the list. So Disney Lorcana, I honestly see this one going down. And the stats here, honestly, after seeing what they've been doing in the card game, they're losing interest. The game is kind of dying in our local area. It's likely biased. If your local area is booming, please tell me in the chat. I'd love to hear it. Hit me up in Discord. I'd love to see where this is going off. Because I know... oh, wow. Weiss Schwartz has been completely wiped off the map. I knew where Weiss Schwartz was being played. Why they separated Pokemon Japan? Maybe because people are buying more Pokemon Japanese versions of the cards to sell. I don't know why they separated the two here. But Digimon card game, congratulations in the 8th spot. Personally, I think Union Arena should be there. It's sad Union Arena won't be there, and I don't think it'll ever make it onto this list. This is the best-selling trading card games. Right now, Union Arena has the opposite problem to the scalping issue that's happening with Gundam and One Piece. Right now, people are buying massive amounts of these, but are getting capped and said you can't get more of these unless you buy Union Arena, Digimon, and Dragon Ball. Union Arena, brain dead with the puns here, but no, Union Arena right now on the market is getting crushed by these scalpers. Hey, First Last Johnny, good to see you in the chat on YouTube. Thank you for joining us. I'll add you to the wheel, but I want you guys to see something. If you might not have seen this before, let's go. We're having the opposite problem in Union Arena, mostly with things like this. That's actually okay. You're not making much, but at least we're getting out of the market. But if you look at some of the sales in here, it's not terrible, actually. I'm looking for the 45s. Some of these things have been dumped on here. Let's see. I think I spelled that right. There we go. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. So this is a relatively new set. It's not even a month old. We're having the opposite problem. So those who don't know how the back end works for buying cards, you go through a distributor. The distributor got it from another company, and there's a lot of taxes in there. But eventually it gets to the local game store. The local game store will pay about $55 per box. At $55 per box, they'll try to sell it 60, 70, and usually 80 bucks or something like that to try and get their money back based on the product, because that's how you make profit. You buy a product and you sell a little bit above what you paid for it in order to make money. That pays for your staff, electricity, toiletries, all the rest of the stuff that goes into running a business. Right now, we have people on the market who are tanking Union Arena because they want this product. And Bondi is saying, if you want this product more, you have to buy this product. Well, they said, well, fine. I'll buy cases of this product to increase my numbers here. So when I get this product, I can sell ×3 and ×3, and I can lose money on Union Arena by selling at a $20 loss. Or $15 loss. $15 loss. So if I lose $15 per pack, but I make 3 times the profit in these departments, because there's artificial scarcity available, I make the game look like it's not being played. Yeah, it's not Japanese. Couldn't pay me to play with Kenshin. Yeah, same. Absolutely. Absolutely same. The point that I'm trying to make here, though, is that you're seeing the market look like it's not selling well, while this is what's happening within 15 minutes. Sold out. Now, let me show you guys Digimon. Let's go. Give me a second, I gotta pull this up. I should have had this up for you guys. I didn't think I was gonna talk about Digimon. Let's go into regionals. Season 2. Let's look for North America. Try to find looking for December. Here it is, versus. Here it is. So, same event, just so you guys are tracking. Marriott, Orlando. Marriott, Orlando. Hey, I'll click here for registration. I can still get in. I can still get into this event. So you tell me, why is it Union Arena is nowhere on here? It's sold out in minutes. This is now 2 months old, or a month in some days. So you guys get the math, like a month and a half old. It still has people available to buy into the regionals. Yet it, according to Best Selling, is here in 8th place. So, like, it opened about a month ago. So, all right. So, Braindead brought up a good point. I don't know exactly how long it took to sell out. I do know that when we signed up for Texas, this was the same thing that happened. When we sent out the message in Texas to get down to those last chance qualifiers. Last chance qualifiers for One Piece filled up pretty fast. It wasn't the fastest. Gundam was the fastest fill up. That thing filled up like that. I went straight to Union Arena first, signed up for Union Arena, got out of the app, thought that the order would work out well in my favor. As soon as I was out of the app, Gundam was sold out. Went into the last chance qualifiers, got into the last chance qualifiers. As soon as I got registered for last chance qualifiers, the last chance qualifiers were sold out. Yeah, like 5,000. There's a lot of people, like 3,000 people. 3,000 people. So those 3 IPs sold out like that. Digimon and Dragon Ball Z were sitting on the shelf. And they were until the day of when we were there. Still available to play some Digimon events, not all of them, but some of them. Dragon Ball was open throughout the entire weekend with empty spots available to play. Using that same logic, that same occurrence, and now seeing this, I am causation trying to do comparable for you to show you that the likelihood is that this sold out in minutes. But even said that people might have been applying to UEA for the competitor badge just to get in the retail area. It's sold out again. You told me it was a month and a half ago. Same thing. Same thing, Braindead. Still available to pick up. You could still... You could still, at this date, get into this regional. Same thing. There is a possibility that, yeah, people got in for those tickets. But there's no... This isn't a Bondi Card Fest. This isn't the big event. This is just a regional event with these 3 card games. This sold out completely. Chainlil says you also don't know what the cap is for each. They might be a very player depending on how popular they think it will be. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I'm talking about Dallas. Yes, I know you're talking about Dallas. I'm saying your argument here is that everyone in Dallas, or a large majority, bought the Union Arena ticket to get into the event. While there were still available tickets for the other 2. There were still available tickets for Dragon Ball. There's still available tickets for Digimon. But there could have been people that got into Union Arena, could have, just to get into the event. However, there were still available tickets for you to get into the event leading up to the very day of the event. There were still non-waitlisted seats available. So if that was the case, why wouldn't they just go into the ones that were just easily available? It could have been. I'm not saying it was not the case, because we had enough seating for 700 and only 350 people participated. But we don't know what happened. We don't know what caused that issue to occur. We don't know if it was because people were flustered because the events weren't firing, the side events weren't firing, people weren't getting into events. They didn't have, they took away a lot of the prize support. The vending area sold out in the first hour both days, and there was nothing to get by the time you got in line. I don't know what caused the 700 person event to drop down to 350. I don't know. But I am hearing from the last regionals in California, they maxed out seating. And I have been hearing from this one, they maxed out. And Jane Lowe is correct. We don't know how many people are getting in if they made this one bigger. Only attending the event could I actually tell you, but I'm not going down there because my game is sold out. And same thing with Gundam. That's Union Arena. We got enough of those. But Gundam sold out as well. Lonely, good to see you. So, my argument, if you will, is that Union Arena would be up here if we didn't have the opposite scalping issue occurring because people are dumping this product on the shelf to get more to scalp the products. I think once, honestly, once these two get their selling right and they get enough product on the shelf, Union Arena will stop being pushed like this and it's going to be a top contender. Because, in my opinion, it has a bigger drive than this. Bias, obviously, in this local area, it's an easy determination. But given I was in Dallas and saw the participation for it, I know it's a lot higher than Dragon Ball. I know it's a lot higher. I know that it has a very strong player base and is getting stronger by the IP, by each IP they're releasing. So I sincerely think Union Arena needs to be up the top here. Star Lowers Unlimited really needs to work on their value. There's zero value in these cards. These feel really bad to buy. Like everything's cents. And they have premium product too. It's just cents on it. And Flesh and Blood, it has an opposite problem. They have a high ceiling, but that's... I don't know how to explain this one. Flesh and Blood just has a really high bar to entry. Most of the cards you need are really old. They're extremely expensive. Most decks are like Magic the Gathering expensive to get into it. There are some leaders that have been trying to make some leeway to get in the standard format to help out, but there's still cards that are just uniform good across the board that people like to play that you just are very, very expensive to get your hands on. So I'd say Flesh and Blood's biggest issue they're having right now is that they don't have a cheap alternative to help people get into the card game, because some of the boxes, like if you want to get some of the first edition boxes of Flesh and Blood, they're going for thousands of dollars. Let's see. Sky Hunter says, I was thinking about doing Flesh and Blood. I mean, it's not unachievable if you have a good locals. The problem right now just comes down to the price cap. And a lot of the cards, the staples across all formats here, are extremely expensive. Especially when you plan to play foils, because the ratios of these cards are insane. I mean, you can get in a box this big card or just a bunch of penny cards. Where are we at? Now we're getting here. Arcane, first edition, $1,000 per box. Come on, show me the older stuff. I did type in Flesh and Blood booster box, right? Okay. Let's see. Yeah, these are some of the prices I'm talking about. A lot of these older sets that a lot of people like to get, extremely expensive to get your hands on. This game isn't even like 4 years old. I feel like it hasn't been more than 5-6 years. Like 2019, I want to say. Yeah, there's each one of these card games has their own problems, and we're not done talking about it yet because there's a lot more to discuss in this area. We have the ban list that I want to talk about when we come back from a quick break. There's some other things I want to tell you guys about what's going on in the TCG wars, and let you guys know that right now you're in a market that you can benefit from because each one of these card games is vying for your attention. And at the end of the day, what games are going to survive this war is entirely up to you. Every one of you at home, whatever you play, whatever you invest in, whatever you get into, it's going to be entirely on you if it survives these TCG wars. Because right now, I'm seeing a very similar thing that happened back in 2009, 2000s, when I was playing the TCGs back then, and Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh! Was just coming off the shop. Pokemon was doing some stuff, and we had so many card games you guys never even heard of. Thousands of card games have been created. And this has happened just about 20 years ago. And only really 3 or 4 of them survived. So I'm really looking forward to seeing in the current market where more and more games are getting flooded. Alpha Clash is coming in as an indie. If you guys look on those GoFundMe pages and the Fivers and whatnot, you're going to see a lot of new of those independent card games that are seeing a lot of attention. And you have a lot of new games coming out from Disney and big brands that are trying to flood the market with more TCGs, because as a consumer, people are moving to owning your own product. It's a logical move, in my opinion. In an age where everything's trying to go digital and trying to get you to stop owning anything you own, the public will often reject it and say, I want something that I can keep, I can tangibly have. Because something digital is meaningless and worthless. And you're not going to trick me into NFTs again. All right, we're going to take a quick break. I've got more to cover for this one. We got the Pirates Championship coming up soon. We'll do the coverage for that, interviews, and of course, pack giveaways. Stay tuned. I got to get hydrated because I've been doing this solo, and get myself a quick break. I'll be right back.
Must be you. Cinderella, will you be there? Cinderella boy, I love you. Kimiko, you be naked. Kimiko, could it be a destiny? Honestly, a mystery. Must be you. Gotta be you. Must be you. Cinderella boy, I love you. Cinderella, will you be there? Gotta be you.
And welcome back to Humble Pie. I'm your host, Jimmy D. And we're going to continue on this conversation of the TCG wars that have been going on. I'm loving the feedback in the chat. Keep it up. Appreciate y'all. Thank you for joining us. We will be getting the Pirate Championship after the next break. I'll be going into the final round where we're going to showcase who won our Pirate Championship, which is a side event. For those that don't just came in and didn't see the comments before, I don't have Ocean Man with me. I couldn't get Marcus with me, so without the co-host, and because these are kind of like a flagship thing for the channel, it being the finals after the accumulation, of now 12 weeks of work put in by these players. We had two different cups. We had the championship cup that played for the manga. That one will be a week from today. I'll be covering that live here in the studio with Ocean Man because he'll be able to be free. I unfortunately got called into work on this Veterans Night, Veterans Day week, I guess. So sadly, I was not able to do the coverage with him today, and that was going to be our formula. I spent hours preparing for that, trying to get it ready to go, but all the preparation in the world doesn't prepare you for what life can throw at you. And if anything, I'm blessed that I have the people around me that help me get through a lot of the stressful times and a lot of the things that happen in the background that you guys never see, and I don't even need to introduce you. Just know that I'm happy to be here, I'm happy to run the events, and I'm happy to keep these things coming for you, and I'm hoping after a few successes we can open these tournaments up to even more TCGs and open these up to other players as well for those that might not be able to make it out to Virginia, because a lot of these tournaments, I think especially when it comes to Bondi, there's not enough tournaments, there's not enough play out there, not enough high level play in places for people to go, which goes back to the argument I was making before the break. You need to stop capping and you need to start hosting more of these events and allowing people to come to these events. There's too many players that are just looking and itching for an opportunity. And while we're in the middle of TCG wars, which trust me, it's happening right now. The market is being absolutely flooded with individuals coming in from all over the place. We got new card games coming out. We're going to talk about some of those new card games. And we have a lot of new competitors that are trying to go for the crown, especially when one of them happens to be stifling. The number one Magic the Gathering is going through a lot of hiccups. And that's going to be the first topic we're going to talk about today. For those that don't know, Magic the Gathering just had a ban list. And we're going to go over that ban list real quick because everybody else is doing that content. So why not me? Why can't I make a simple YouTube video and edit that and throw it out there and tell you guys my thoughts on the ban list and what's happening with Magic the Gathering? I'll cut that into a little tangent and throw it on my main channel. Before I do, Tazidis says, I was almost ready to jump into Riftbound, but at the locals this week was a release of Riftbound, and at the same time, some of them reminded me why I quit playing League because, oh, wow, it was that bad? I was a little nervous about that, to be honest with you. And that will be one of the topics I'll bring up. Thank you for that comment. I was a little nervous. Our group in the locals wasn't that bad because I am a League player myself in the back and way back when Ash was actually good. But I I am a League player, but I could, as an adult, I couldn't play it as much as you need to be good at it. And there was enough of me trying my best to play League of Legends, but I was just getting smack talked over left and right. They're right, I was bad at the game, but I also wasn't chasing for a freaking esports contract. I was just trying to play the game. So, but I was getting trashed on and getting ridiculed. So the only time I played is if I had a good group of friends, and that was always more difficult to get a group of people that just wanted to casually sit back and play the game. Because I think it's a fun game. I just think that there's a lot of tryhards in there that really ruin it. And I really thought the digital side was what caused all that. But if they're doing it in real person too, that's really sad, Tazzy. It's really sad. Uchiha says, when I get home tonight, I'm gonna get my sonar practice in for the Union Arena sim. Nice. I'm getting closer to cracking some codes here. Good, good. I'm glad. I'm really glad you're improving your game. So it's clearly shown even on the camera that we have some gameplay going into straight to YouTube content soon here. Because this weekend we couldn't record the Union Arena live. I'll be talking over it. And since Veterans Day is tomorrow, I've got the day off. I'll be making YouTube videos. I'll be trying to get a lot of content out there for Riftbound that we recorded, Union Arena that we recorded, some box openings I want to put up, publish for you guys, and some deck techs I want to put out. So all day tomorrow, I'll be doing a lot of different YouTube videos and getting those things out from my other channels as I am getting better and better at editing. It's not great. I'm not saying I even deserve any kind of trophies, because I still feel like there's a lot more I could be doing, but I'm getting better at it. So I'm going to start giving you guys more content that way. So if you guys want to get into my YouTube channels, hit subscribe, help me grow those channels, help me get some 500 subscribers so I can start getting paid by YouTube for the advertisements they run on me. But if you guys could help me out in those channels, please help me out. We do have a YouTube channel for Riftbound. It's called Humbro Pie RB. We have Union Arena, Humbro Pie UA. Are you guys catching on? I'm currently live on Humbro Pie OP, One Piece. Humbro Pie is the Magic channel, and that one was supposed to be dedicated to Dual Commander, but we've had our issues with that. That's something maybe I'll get into in just a minute. And we have one for, what's it? Fab, Flesh and Blood. So Union Arena, I'm sorry, Humbro Pie FAB, Fab. So we have a channel dedicated to each one of those card games. If you guys are interested in that content, we go live a lot with those channels. The only one I would say that you're not going to see any live content from is Riftbound, and that's scheduling. There's just no way for me to go live with that. Not to mention, I don't know. I think the edited content just works better for Riftbound, personally. Tazzy says, yeah, I know I suck, but I like being competitive. Same, bro. I mean, yeah, I'm bad at the game. I want to get good at it. It took me months to learn Ashe. It just in the play style that I'd play for Shyvana was insanely difficult to get up there. But that was the basics for me, just to be able to play the characters I liked. But getting into Riftbound or League of Legends was really difficult because it's just a very toxic community. Uchiha says, turns out Zenitsu is actually good Demon Slayer deck. Yes, it is. Yeah, it's just underappreciated, brother. There's a lot of different decks that don't see enough time because we only have a month between each set. Again, something we'll talk about here in a minute as we talk about the TCG wars. Taking off for work? Did you give me some, Mio? Appreciate you. Oh, olive juice. Mio? Yeah. All right, so I digress. Let's get ourselves into the TCG wars and my next topic, which happens to be the ban list. Let's get into it. All right, starting off here, those that don't know, Magic the Gathering just did a ban list to help fix Standard, something that they've been trying to push down our throats for the last year and a half, as they've been keeping all the competitive play in Standard. If you guys have been a member of this channel for a while, you know I've made several complaints and given you guys stories of how this card right here in particular had ruined the format, and it ruined Standard so badly that people were playing in competitive events purely for the permission to not need to play the format anymore. Like they were in there to get their competitive badge. They wanted to get their invite to the regionals because the regional qualifiers that the LGSs are holding, and people were playing in them simply to not have to play this game anymore. They were just tired of this format. Nobody liked it. If you didn't run VV Cauldron deck, you were running the mono red deck because the mono red deck could get underneath it. And these were the only two decks in the format. These two cards right here were the prime example of what was taking over in Standard, making it virtually unplayable. We have seen a continual downgrade in attendance for all of our formats in Magic the Gathering. We have seen people get out of drafting because of the Spider-Man set. We have seen people get out of the standard on Wednesdays for the showdowns, where those who don't know, they created this really cool thing called Showdown. You get these really cool promos. Some of them were like Cowboy Bebop themed. I got my playset of those. But they had really cool promos you'd get if you played the standard showdowns. Problem is, we can't fire these standard showdowns because no one's showing up to play them because no one wants to play standard. The game was dying. To a degree, for a lot of reasons. Not just because the format was sucky, it was the primary reason why people don't want to play it. We, as a store, banned VV outright because we thought for sure there was no way with the Christmas bundle coming out soon. Next month, they've got their special edition. This is what I believe what this art is. The special edition bundle that's coming out for Final Fantasy that's going to showcase VV in the bundle. And they're going to be selling these things for hundreds of dollars for this bundle to get it. And now VV, the most expensive card in the set, has now been banned. We didn't think it was going to happen. I think it was a good choice. I think, yes, finally, you got rid of the problem card. The thing that scared me the most coming into this was they were going to ban Cauldron, a card that was good, but not unstoppable, and has answers, and is a 2-mana play, where you have plenty of answers to Cauldron, but there's not a whole lot of answers you have to these VV cards that help you play around, especially when you get, there's another ban card they didn't pay attention to called Into the Floodmaw, which was the reason why this deck was so OP. Into the Floodmaw was the guarantee that even if they had answers to your Cauldron or the VV, you had answers to their answers, and it was in your main deck for 1 mana. 1 blue mana, and you could protect your cards or even, get around other people playing the deck. But it was so ridiculously dumb in a 2-deck format that no one wanted to play this game for good reasons. Uchiha says, Magic got ban list, huh? This is going to shake up the game like the dice in the Yahtzee Cup. That's a good line. I like that. So, yeah, it is going to shake up the game. It is going to start allowing for people to do some more creativity with deck lists. The problem is, I'm wondering, is this too late? I'm not saying that Magic's going to die. It's always been number one. It's survived many years. It's had a lot of sets that didn't sell, had a lot of things. So this issue we're having with the Spider-Man set, primarily based on the fact that the draft is unfun. The cards were 108 compared to usually 360 and what cards get released. Some of the cards aren't on the arena because they had to change the art for it. The mechanics weren't really shaking up the tournament play whatsoever. It was kind of like a small set that they were selling at a premium price, and a lot of people got really mad at how they were selling these premium products with half of the number of cards that normally come into it. Now, understand that most boxes go for about 120, 140, which is still pretty expensive for card games. But when they got in the premium, i.e. Final Fantasy and Spider-Man, they were going for $210 per box. And if you wanted to get the collector booster, which usually runs for about $350 per set, it was running for $1,000. And even Spider-Man initially was going for $1,000. But then when people said, wait a minute, there's 1/3 of the cards in this set. Why am I still paying that price for 1/3 of the different cards in the set? I'm not going to spend that kind of money. So the box is tanked, and they've been going down and down and down, and almost settling down closer to the actual premium set pricing for some of these boxes. I know as a store, Lifelink has had to sell their packs at the normal price. They don't sell them at the premium prices for Spider-Man because they don't move. They can't move them. The set has been causing a lot of problems because they came out with another one of these smaller sets, tried to sell it as a complete set, and then tried putting a premium price on it. And everyone was like, no, I'm not paying premium pricing for 1/3 the product and a crappy little draft format. And that's what's been killing the draft side. But these two cards particularly, yeah, I'm happy. I'm glad that these are gone. These cards were overpowered. Prof's Eidetic Memory. Honestly, I saw this card always put in work. There's answers to it. I don't see the line in the article. If you guys read through this, they talk about how this is similar to Up the Beanstalk, which is a green card that said anytime you played a 5-cost or more spell, you would get to draw a card. It had its problems. There was a lot of ways to cheat out cards like that. A lot of draw power that came into it. And I'm okay with this leaving. It really wasn't that much of an impact. It had a lot of impact with VV, I'll tell you that. This card in the VV deck was really annoying. But as a card overall, I don't know, I thought this was fine. There's plenty of answers to it. It's not that powerful if you can get underneath your opponent, but I can see why they got rid of it, and it's mostly because it was an engine to help the VV, and they were afraid this was going to take over. So as far as the standard ban list, good. I'm glad. Is it enough? No. What are we going to see in the format? I don't know. Who's left to play it? Magic, you killed your audience for this, and you're still killing it, and you're still going to be killing it with what I'm going to talk about next. Like, I'm excited that we're finally getting into a better format after these bans. But have you put such a bad taste in the mouth, along with all these other these TCGs entering the market, to say why bother? You have Union Arena that's selling dirt cheap right now and is still really fun and competitive and selling out and for their competitive seasons. You have a lot of people growing interest in it because they can play their favorite IP and enjoy a card game that's virtually inexpensive and has decent turnaround cards with valuable cards inside them. You've got One Piece, which is doing a phenomenal job of making sure that the game pieces are affordable, and they have priceable cards that are going for thousands of dollars and hundreds of dollars, and they're doing it without making it so necessary game pieces are the ones that are expensive. That way you can play without it because they do alt arts properly. You don't. You make these cards right here, even at their base art, $100, which is unheard of for some games. That's a lot. It's a lot to take in. So did they fix it? Let's hope. Time will tell. I know Magic's going to be in a rough year and a half to come because of the way that they're releasing these sets, and these premium products are really starting to annoy people because you're price gating them out of the game. You are by far the most expensive TCG to get involved with if you're not dealing with scalpers and the Pokemon bracket, which we have our own ways to get around scalpers. But if you're dealing with scalpers, not dealing with scalpers, this is the most expensive card game around, and you're not selling us sets that you can play out the box. You're not selling us stuff that we can build decks around. You're selling us bits and pieces that are hard to get with hard chase pieces like this VV, or it's going for $100 a piece, and really made the formats unfun and unplayable. So even though it was $100, people didn't even want to buy into it because it was solitaire. If anyone had to play against this game, it was miserable. That's why people hate. Let's see, Gundam doesn't have this yet, thank God. And Union Arena doesn't have this yet, but I do know that Nami and Anel and One Piece have this problem. People don't like an opponent who's playing solitaire, who's not really interacting with you in the game. They're just playing their own game, and they're like, all right, I'll just keep playing my cards. And this is what VV was. VV didn't play against the opponent. It just played itself and would have 15, 20-minute turns that were just ungodly boring to watch and ungodly boring to play. Finally, this is out of the format. Will it correct it? Time will tell. Pioneer. Let's see. Dev says, feel that way about Blackbeard sometimes as well. Yeah, I can see that with Blackbeard as well. Blackbeard definitely feels like you're not really doing much interaction. You're just trying to play up to the 10 cost. And you're really not playing any back and forth. And games like that are really boring. And people, when those kind of decks take over, thank God they didn't. We've got other ways around it. There's other cards. Shoot, the power creep in One Piece has really prevented those two from taking off. And the ban list was correcting that the Nami plays. But though no one wants to watch their opponent play the game for 15 minutes. You got to have something that kind of regulates that and prevents your opponent from having these 15, 20-minute turns. It's incredibly boring. No one has the attention span for this, especially in today's day and age. But those are when formats go to die. Next up, we got Pioneer, which is hilarious that we're even talking about this. Heartfelt Hero and Pioneer. Pioneer hasn't received support in 2-3 years. They fixed the format. It was going great. Everyone was saying this is the greatest format ever, and they just stopped having it. Like Taco Bell and a really good thing on the menu. Hey, that stuff's pretty good. Take it off the menu. As soon as it was good, they just no longer supported any more competitive play for it. So Pioneer got a ban. Congratulations. These should be on the ban as well, because anyone who's played Pioneer as long as I have realizes that Standard is now overcrept the power of Pioneer. You can play a Standard deck in Pioneer, and it's more powerful than what's in Pioneer. So the only reason we're not seeing these two banned in Pioneer is because no one's playing it because you don't support it. You've done nothing to support this format. So seeing Heartfelt Hero, yeah, it was a problem child in Standard. It doesn't surprise me it's been banned. It needs to be banned. This card was busted. I played with this forever. Like it would win a game in 2 turns. That's the other issue. You get the decks that like you have the ones where your opponent's playing solitaire against you, and you have the other one where you sit down and you're like, hey, my name is, and I lost. Okay, well, next game. Yeah, as I was saying, my name is, oh, I lost again. Well, nice playing you. Have a good day. Hope your tournament run is pretty good. I will see you later. And 45 minutes after the round, and you guys went and got food and tea and, you know, hit 18 holes in the golf course and finally came back for the next round. But Heartfelt Hero was like a 2-turn win con. It was insane, and it still is. And especially with what's in Pioneer, it's even more devastating. So, sure, Heartfelt Hero got hit, whatever. You're not going to get a whole lot of opinions from people when you don't support the format that was arguably one of the best ones you had, especially at the time when you really fixed Pioneer for what you did. Modern, no changes, no surprise, because we haven't had any big tournaments with Modern, so now I want to change up. In Legacy, it's about effing time. Bro. This is weird art. Okay, this is the new set coming out. Entomb Reanimator has been the deck in Legacy for like 2 years. 2 years. You've done almost nothing to ban this thing. This has been the top deck with the most wins. The most boring deck to play against sometimes because it's a turn 2 win. I put out Gristlebrand and win. Like, you could do it on turn 1 if you had a good enough hand. This is, like, okay, you finally addressed Legacy with Entomb. Okay. And Nadu was a mistake from the get-go. This card should have been banned, like, on release before it even hit the shelves. It was built for Commander in Modern Horizons 3. It ruined Modern for a very long time. Got a lot of people to stop playing it because it was just like VV. It created a solitaire-based deck with an undetermined loop that could fizzle and forced your opponent to watch them play the game for 15 minutes. And in Legacy, it was doing the same thing, but more efficiently, and it still could fizzle. So it was still a deck that was just watching your opponent play solitaire. Why it took them this long to ban it in Legacy? The only reason I'd say is because they don't support Legacy. They don't do anything with it, and I think they want Legacy and Vintage. Personally, I think they want these two to disappear so they can finally print the cards from their reserved list and make money off the reserve list. Something I honestly see them doing eventually, especially when things get rough. Here, come to the future. Pauper, again, another card that created an infinite loop. Until end of turn, whenever a player taps an island or mana, that player adds 1 blue to his mana pool. This just created a lot of like infinites and Pauper. Very, very boring to play. Usually would lead to nothing but a decent board state, if anything at all. And the opponent's deck would fizzle, and they would pass a turn after having watched your opponent do this with their cards a billion times. Good ban. We host Pauper on Fridays at Lifelink Games. I think the Pauper people will be happy the High Tide's been canceled, but I don't think many people are playing it, to be honest with you. It's a very boring deck. It doesn't have a determined win con. So, okay. Cool. Congratulations. You got a High Tide out of the format. Good. Pauper seems to be doing pretty well. It's the only 60-card format we seem to be able to fire at Lifelink Games. So, good on you for at least keeping your eyes on this one. Historic, this is all... this is the arena thing that I don't support. It's digital crap. Brawl's digital crap. These should have never been in Brawl in the first place. Anybody who knows what these cards do? Strip mine, sacrifice, destroy target land. Target land, not basic, target land. Like it doesn't mitigate. You can basically play decks that prevent your opponent from ever having any mana. Really super fun to play against. Mana Drain, just a really good counter spell that just is OP as all get out. Chrome Mox, obviously, fast mana, fast stuff. This is why it's banned in Dual Commander. That's why I like Dual Commander, because its nonsense is not in it. In Ancient Tomb, just taps for 2. So just more fast mana. Fast mana and destroy mana. Like these games are quick, not fun. I don't know why they were in Brawl in the first place. To be honest with you, it should have been banned immediately. But all of this is just digital crap. And I'm sure I made Magic the Gathering's list because they're like, why are you just calling it digital crap? Because you're trying to sell me the same cards as a pack value with less cards in it and trying to tell me that it's the same game. It's digital crap. I don't own it. I can't trade it. I can't do anything with it. And my account, if I want to sell it, it's worth $30. After spending $18,000 on your cards to keep up with your ridiculous release schedule, I have spent a lot of money to try and play the game on your arena, and it's worthless. The product is worthless. I can't sell it. It's not... I don't own anything. It's all digital art. And the minute you turn down the servers, I lose everything. It's crap. All right, let's get into an idea of like what's been going on with Magic and the Magic Wars. All right, the TCG Wars. Magic this year, we had 6 release sets. We had Final Fantasy, Spider-Man, and now we know that this is Avatar the Airbender. Remember correctly, yeah, it just did come in the middle. So, out of the year, we had 6 sets printed directly straight to standard. This one at 140, this one at 140, this one at 140, 210 plus, 210 plus, 210 plus. You have 3 premium sets out of 3 regular sets. Affordable, virtually, not easy, but affordable. Not affordable. 3 sets. The community complained. We said, stop printing so much. We can't keep up. We don't have enough time to play with the products before the next one comes out. The minute the set releases, you're already talking about spoilers for this one. When this released, you were talking about spoilers for this one. When this one released, you're talking about spoilers for this one. Like, as soon as the release weekend, which is coming up here in a week or so, for Avatar, they're going to be talking about the next set with Laura 1 Eclipsed. These things are coming out so fast, no one has time to build anything. No one has time to even play with your cards. No one knows what the meta's going to look like. We can't enjoy anything. These month-and-a-half turnarounds are absolutely insane. We said, please stop printing so much and stop putting so many premium sets in the air. And you said, I got you, fam. Here's 7 sets next year with 1, 2, 3, 4 premium products. 4 out of 7 releases next year. 210 plus, 210 plus, 210 plus, probably 310, 300 plus. This is gonna be a crap set, whatever. But 210 plus or tank, who knows? With 3 sets in universe to Magic the Gathering, with very little time between each one of these sets. We asked you to slow down, and you sped up. And I know that there's a lot of talk about we made these deals years ago and we couldn't schedule them right, and we had the deals and we had to fire the contracts based on the, like, bro, whoever's doing your contract running needs to talk to someone who understands the reality of people's wallets, because whatever schedule and whatever contracts, I don't care. That's on you. You were the one that made the terms. You were the one that negotiated. You were the one that did the piss poor pre-planning. You, not us. And don't get mad at us. And don't give us questions with, are you out of money to buy TCG cards? Yes! Yours specifically. Yours specifically. Because you have 4 out of 7 sets next week are going to be premium freaking products. Remember when I was telling you guys to get people into a game? You couldn't have a barrier of entry? Fab's biggest issue is its barrier to entry because of how expensive the card game is? You put me straight to standard. No person is going to come into standard wanting to play these things, knowing that none of these sets are even buildable for competitive decks. I brought up in front of me a deck that I built back when we used to have good sets being printed in universe sets. This set is called Ixalan. In this deck, we had these really cool dinosaurs. And when Standard was playable back then, I could build a deck with all these really cool alt arts. All of these cards are from Ixalan, by the way. Every single one of these are from Ixalan. It's a dino deck. This deck was extremely competitive in Standard, because the power creep was low enough that I could play with all the cards within the set, and I could play the deck. All of these cards that you're seeing in front of you came from the same set. And I built a deck that got me a lot of wins in the Standard. A lot of wins in Standard. I like this deck so much that I got all the alt arts. I got all the really cool cards that I really wanted from it, and I was like, "Guys, I want to buy all the cards. I want to get all these cards so I can play this deck completely faulted, alt-arted, and all these really cool like dinosaur cards. And I love dinos, and I love playing this deck, and it's a good deck in standard. And this thing cost me like $100, even with all the alts. It cost me like $100. Easy entry, competitive, won games, not all of them, but it won games. It got me a couple of tournament wins, got me some extra packs. It was doing really well. I actually really love this deck. But that deck was all in one set. Since Ixalan, actually, let's go back. Yeah, since Ixalan, we haven't seen a single set come out where there was a archetype that was in the set that you could make a 60 card deck from and be viable and competitive in the format. You have so many cards that are just so overpowered in certain colors in every other set that it's near impossible for a person to pick up a set of Ixalan and build a deck directly from it. In one piece, if I want to build Emu, I buy OP13. If I want to build Roger, I buy OP13. If I want to buy and build Rornor Zoro, I buy OP12. If I want to get in a starter deck or something like that to help get the upgrades, it's cool. It gives me a great starting line. The starter decks are fantastic. If I want to get into Gundam and I want to build G-Quicks, 2 starter decks, a couple extra cards, deck's good. I want to get into Union Arena, 2 starter decks, a couple extra cards, good to go. For 1 box of Magic the Gathering's premium products, I could buy 3 Union Arena boxes, even more if I buy from those other scalpers, 3 Union Arena boxes, and build every single deck that's 2 per color that come out in every single one of these sets. For the price of 1 of your booster boxes, where I can't even build a deck unless it's Commander, and even then it's a bad Commander deck. I can't build 1 deck out of 1 box for $210. If I bought a case, I still can't build a single deck from that set because there's nothing in that set that helps me build a 60 card deck that's competitive and fun to play. There are archetypes, there are really cool cards in there, but nothing standalone inside that set like you used to do when we had Ixalan. Back in the day when new sets would come out, Dominaria, Phyrexia, all those decks you could play. What was it? Poison came back, and it was all those cards were in the same set. You want to play in standard? Cool. Buy that set. There you go. Maybe a few pieces outside. Maybe those pieces were easy to get. Very easy. Sometimes just to power it up a little bit. But I could build a deck from that set that I bought. Curly says, "How is that supposed to be playable?" Like, what do you mean, Curly? I mean, you're talking about my deck right here. It's like in standard basics were the mana base. Now it's shocklands and $40 land, tap land here, and you got to have this fast land, or you got to have this over here. But what do you mean by that? Are you trying to say? Are you reinforcing what I'm saying, that you're not printing sets that allow people to get into your game and build decks from them and play your game, like One Piece, like Union Arena, like Gundam, like even Riftbound right now? Not even getting enough cards in a case to build a deck. Yeah, it's unfeasible. That's what he means. Curly says not even get enough cards in a case. Yeah, it's unattainable, and it's actually a problem that we're seeing with Riftbound, which is the next card game we're going to talk about right now. All right, in Riftbound, new card game out there. Everyone's super excited. Tazzy was in the chat. People talking about this card game. Man, was this going to be great. It is great. This game is fun. Very easy to learn. Absolutely outstanding. However, it's had some hiccups. We had 30 cards errated on release, which was insane. A lot of drama, a lot of people talking about it. A lot of new ways and functionality the cards work. Good news for collectors. Erratas mean after they do another print run, if the errata is changed on the new cards, that means we officially have a first edition set. That's huge. For those that understand One Piece and the blue bottom, well, how do I know it's a blue bottom? Well, I can check the bottom, but how do I know the cards are accurate? There's cards in it that need to be errataed. So the only way to get those cards with the old text on them is through the blue bottom, which are highly desired cards. People want to get those original first printings because there was no first edition one in One Piece. Never has been. All the Bandai games I've been tracking so far don't have first edition, second edition, or unlimited or whatever. So good news if you're a collector out there and the next wave does print with the text errata as is supposed to be. That means there is essentially a first edition set. So that's good news for collectors. For other people out there, they said, oh, this is bad news as a company. If you had to fix 30 cards, you're not paying close enough attention. You're not doing enough. I'm with you. Okay. Sure. This is a big mistake. But I'm also a huge proponent of allow everybody at least one. I think what's more important is not the mistake that was made, but how it's responded to. We haven't seen anything from Riftbound yet to say that they're going to keep making these mistakes because it's the first set. We haven't seen a pattern or a history of them doing bad stuff. There's nothing really to judge. It's now incumbent on Riot Games to fix the problem, fix the errata, make sure that when you're releasing sets that you've fully analyzed it and you got the verbiage correct, get the QA/QC team on high alert, make sure they don't make the mistake again, and come the next set in February. If there is no issue, that tells me a lot about Riot Games. They're willing to fix their mistakes. When we were talking about the problems we're having with Magic, we asked them for help and they doubled down on the problem. If Riot Games can fix the problem and going forward not have errata issues and have good quality cards, and there's another thing we're going to get into in just a minute with this card game, they can fix it. I think they deserve and warrant our attention, because that shows you that this is a card game willing to pivot, willing to make changes. One Piece has already demonstrated that for the player base. They're willing to make corrections where necessary to ensure that cards don't get too pricey, where decks get online, they make the bans fat at a decent pace. Heck, we've been so spoiled in the West, we didn't even have to deal with toxic metas because they fixed them before they even got over here. They were testing them out in Japan, saw that the meta was toxic, and banned it outright. Didn't care what it did to the price of the cards. They don't care because it's about the fun of the game. So, as outside of printing issues, I'd say the Bandai's been doing a fantastic job representing their company to fix the issues that came through. And since this is their first big card game, I'm going to let them pass on this one. Let them make mistakes. It's okay. I make mistakes all the time. I'm trying to do this channel right. I'm trying to grow it. I'm going to make a lot of mistakes. But if I keep making the same mistake and keep making the problem over and over again, I'm going to lose the trust of my audience. I got to fix it. I got to take it seriously. And I like that you would all afford me the same courtesy that I try to afford others, that if it's a mistake one time, I'll try to see you get through it. And if you correct the behavior, cool, we can move on. And if you don't, I'm going to go see other people. And that's what's going to happen to people in this card game. They're going to go see other games and go other places. So, yes, this is a problem. Kind of. I think it's good news personally. A lot of, especially for collectors. People that got their hands on this first set, in this first wave. Super excited. There is another issue with shipping I want to talk about. I don't really have an article for it, but a lot of people who ordered directly from Riot Games have still not received the product and still waiting for the product. It's not good. You need to get the product out to these people. They want to play the game. They need the product. You're a brand new card game. I'm willing to let it pass. I'm also not waiting for product, so don't take my opinion for that much weight. I was lucky enough to have a LGS that filled out the paperwork properly, that did everything else right, and got us a substantial amount of product. We thought it was going to be enough to hold the shelf. It wasn't. It was actually not enough. We needed more. But they were willing to give us exactly what we ordered, which was huge. So the mistake really wasn't even on Riot Games that we didn't have enough. It was on our mistake for not buying more because we didn't know the demand was going to be this high. So as far as the card game goes, demand being high, good. Player base, good. You made some mistakes. Those two. I'd say the biggest one that I'm most concerned about is the flakiness. You've got to work with your company. These are ungradable. These look like they were cut with a pair of scissors. And not sharp ones in particular either. This is a problem in a lot of the packs, if not all of the packs. Grading these cards is going to be a nightmare. Your signature cards coming like this are very depressing. Guys, these signature cards are going for thousands of dollars. I don't want to see this on my $1,000 card. So, if you could, and you were actually paying attention to me, Ripbound, Riot Games, please fix this. This is not good for a card game. It looks cheap. It looks like he went to the lowest buyer, lowest bidder, and you got the product out, but it's a very cheap quality. Something I would not see in any Bondi game, to be honest with you. Another thing I love about Bondi, the card stock is phenomenal. You can't send these things into PSA or the rest of them and not get a 10 on most cases, so long as you just took it from the pack and put it into some case. Like, the cards are coming out pristine. Very rarely will you see them bent up. That's usually because of the way the way they open it or something like that. But most of the cards that come out for Bondi, great condition. Riftbound, you gotta fix this. This is crap. No one wants to see this, especially in your foils. This is a premium card, 60 bucks. Look at that. There's a premium alt-art rune, 60 bucks. It's probably dropped now. FOMO is about to die off, so finally the prices will get to a reasonable price. But that's gross. So, as far as Riftbound is concerned, honestly, you got a lot to learn. You got a lot of things you got to fix. You're coming in a good market time. Magic the Gathering is slipping. They're not paying attention. They got too greedy, and they got too in their high ceiling. They just were breathing in little oxygen and not thinking right. They're falling off their pedestal. They're making a lot of mistakes. They're not improving their card quality. They're printing too much. Their products are too expensive. They're not designing the sets well. There's a lot of things that you can capitalize on. And I think the fourth and final thing that I would say the problem with this set is your ratios are very bad. When I had to buy 4 cases to get a play set of a staple card for my champion, that's not feasible. 4 cases is a lot of money. And when we can't get our hands on the product, which right now we're having issues with, a lot of people can't play your card game. In future sets, please make sure that when you print a new set, the deck can be playable out of at least a case. You can get a deck of something in a case. At least a hero or champion. Not out of 4 cases to play 1 champion. That's bad. That's terrible. Figure it out. Do what you got to do when you're printing to sell a case and make sure that that champion's covered for that case or something to help people be able to build the decks they want to build so they can play the game. And if you can fix those 4 things, you can be a real contender in the top, because the shakeup's still out there, the player base is still out there, and like I said before, you at home will be the determining factor of who survives this recent TCG wars. All right, that's all I want to say for these. It's a lot. Thank you for listening to my soapbox for the last 2 hours. Jeez. I appreciate you all being here. I'm going to take a quick break. When I come back, we're going to get into the Pirates Championship. I got a really cool special prize I want to show you guys too, of a really cool thing that happened at the store. And I got some packs to give away. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Humble Pie. I'm your host, Jimmy D, and we are getting ready for the final round of this tournament. We've got ourselves the Pirates Championship. I'm going to talk to you guys about what it is to be in the Pirates Championship, what this was, and how we got to where we got in this breakdown right now, for you at home watching live with a chance to get your chance on one of these two packs. So P or B, the community box is not even halfway through yet, so we got a lot of these to give away. I'm wishing to stretch it out forever because I would love this to be the only giveaway pack I give in One Piece, because these packs are insanely good, insanely awesome. So stay tuned for that. If you haven't commented yet on YouTube or on Twitch, please do so. Get your chance to get in the running for one of these two. If you're watching me from YouTube, gotta watch me live for these, baby. But on YouTube, we're gonna be doing a nice little cut up of all three games. This is gonna be a long round, best 2 out of 3 for our championship. Throughout the bracket, we had a total of 6 contenders for this one. 8 originally, 2 of them had to call out for work-related issues. So because we only had 2, that meant the first and second place person both got a round 1 bye going into this. Both Curly and Colin earned their round 1 buys to go into the next round. I'm going to talk about all the stuff that they got, what we're doing for the Pirates Champion here in just a bit. But we had essentially 3 rounds, best 2 out of 3, of the Pirates Champion, which were the bottom tier of the 16. The top 8 played in their own championship bracket, and they had their own prize support to play for. This was to separate the people who wanted to play casually from the people that really wanted to play competitively at the high side. So in order for us to kind of separate the groups, because in every competitive card game, you're going to have people that are going to be the tryhards trying to go for it. And I encourage that because I am one of those people as well. I like to play at the top tier, I like to hone my skills and sharpen my blade and play at the highest level of card games because I enjoy the competition. I enjoy the camaraderie. I enjoy the energy going back and forth, and I really enjoy the wins because I feel like I've earned it. I've really put in the work to get there, and I'm kind of being rewarded for all the effort I put into it. I also respect the casual players. Some people just want to come out, play their favorite card game, forget about the problems in their world, forget about the problems in their life, and just play casually. So we decided to break it up into 2 different brackets. You had the lower tier, Pirates Champion, and the higher tier, the competitive bracket for the championship. And those guys playing for some amazing prize support. But right today, we're going to be covering the Pirates Championship finals. I couldn't record both because they're being done simultaneously. I have all 3 of those games, which are going to come out next week when I go live to cover that stuff. If you want to join me here on YouTube and want to check it out and join me on the live event, join me next Monday, the 17th of November, where I'll be going over with Ocean Man in the studio and that final with all the interviews, all the interactions, all the great time that we had there, the prize support, and the stuff that we gave away. A lot of stuff I've got planned for it. It's going to be a great show. No breaks, no commercial. All the commercial breaks are interviews. Everything's going to be there, just non-stop content coming your way. For today, we're going to finish up today with the finals in the championship. So, without further ado, let's go into what it is for the Pirates Championship. Those brand new to this whole series and how we made this up, it was a $35 entry. All of your tournament entries were free unless, of course, it was a pre-release or some kind of special store tournament that was run by Bondi itself. So if it was a Bondi enforced event, we couldn't comp that one, but every single Tuesday and every single Friday was covered with your $35 entry, with a usual $5 to $10 entry per at weekend. It's usually 5 for us at One Piece. It was usually about a $5 entry for other attendees that didn't want to participate. If you attended all 11 weeks at $5, that's 22 times 5, that's $110 for the total entry if you just wanted to do it individually. Or you could be a part of the championship series where it was at one time only $35. If you wanted to pay the additional $25, you could get a mat. Only a few of us got it. I like my mat. I think it's really cool. I've got mine at the store. You might see it sometimes when you play me offside. But we had a really cool series mat for this one that I thought Lifelink did a really good job for. And we try to do this for every season. We have a nice little mat that kind of commemorates the season. Sai says, do you have a pic of what the mat looks like? I'd have to check the Discord. I believe it was posted in the Discord by a long time ago by Chris. But if you want to see it, you're gonna have to see it in person, brother. I'm sorry, because I don't have it on me. If you haven't seen it yet, please do check it out. I do have it at the store. Actually, I do have it. It's gonna be really awkward when we do the interviews and I come back. I'm gonna show it to you. I have one here because I'm supposed to give it to Conquer. So I do have one on me. I will showcase that to you after this is all done, once we get to the final clip, after this entry, and I'll show you guys what the mat looked like. But we do this for every season. And for this season was the first time we split the tryhards from the casuals. There's nothing to say negative to either party. I think both are great in their own respects, and I think whatever branch that you want to play in, good for you, good on you, good job, and have fun, because each one of us play the game a little bit differently. We have to make tiers and brackets for both. So Lifelink Games and I sat down with a group of people. We tried to break this thing down. How do we get the tenants up? How do we get people to show up and enjoy this thing and have a good time while doing it, while also playing for something that is turned out to be quite substantial. Because when the tournament first started, we were offering the Trafalgar Law manga for the championship series bracket. That one was going to be the championship bracket. It was only about $300-400 at the time. Now it's jumped up significantly due to the crypto bros buying out all the mangas and getting those things up to a very, very high significant number. I think it's closer to 8-9 if I remember correctly. You guys can correct me. I'm always wrong on prices. I'm not looking at it. It fluctuates. It's crazy, but it's gone up since, I know for a fact it's gone up since the original giveaway. So this Trafalgar Law was a championship prize going to the winner of who could win the top 8 of this tournament. For the Pirate Champion received a medal, some optional Dawn. We gave out Dawn prizes. We gave out booster packs in the event. So every single attendee for the round that they were in, if they were there for that round, they got a pack. If they won, they got another pack. If they won again, they got another pack. So ultimately, if you were able to get in the final round, you won 3 packs, or you won 2 packs, or you won 1. But everyone was guaranteed to get packs and what was going to be the original set. Originally, it was supposed to be PRB, but because we had to delay it, and we didn't have any product in hand because the thing sold out so fast, it was OP11. I'm sorry, OP13, because it just came out, and we gave out OP13 packs for everyone in attendance. So we initially said whatever set happened to be released at the event and the time and what we had available, that was what we had available. That's what we gave away for pricing. So we increased the pricing because before it wasn't a pack per win. It wasn't a pack for making it. You didn't get Dawn. We had some specialized Dawn we had made specifically for that. I'll grab that as well. Got some stuff I want to show you guys. We had specialized Dawn for your placement to commemorate where you placed in for the tournament. And we had the winner could get for the championship anyways, could get a really cool mat that's a 1 of 1. And that one I'm going to show you the picture next week when I show you who won, because I got a picture of that with the winner. Congratulations to our winner for the championship. But that will be determined next week when we go over that coverage. For the Pirates champion, they're playing for quite a bit of prizing. They've fought through, put in a good amount of work to get in here. Our finalists happen to be Super Coop and G-Bosk, represented by the leaders you see on the left. Cooper decided to bring in his green Roronoa Zoro, and the favorite for G-Bosk, his green purple Luffy. You guys will hear about why their choices and what they picked here when we get to the interviews at the end of the game. But right now, these two are playing what's essentially the top prize of the Pirate Champion medal and the honor of being the Pirate Champion for the first ever Pirate Champion released. A lot of fun times we had with these people. The points were added up over the weeks. Your attendance, and most of your attendance, if you could attend every week and get that guaranteed point along with topping those events, you push yourself in the championship bracket. And for those that just attended, got yourself enough points to be in the Pirate Champion. So really all you had to do was just show up, and you could get yourself into here and play in this semi-competitive, but also just nice and casual with some lower tier decks. This one I thought was really good. They had a lot of good, great times. Our first and second got eliminated after the first round, but still had a great time. Or after the second round, excuse me, because they got a first round bye. Both got eliminated in the second round. Just goes to show they really enjoyed the best 2 out of 3 format. Liked that a bad hand wasn't going to be the means of which got you into the finals. And it was a good competitive play where a lot of these players were able to change their play style and come back from a devastating first game loss. The high seed is going to get choice. In this situation, G-Bosk is high seed. He is going to get the highest pick and get to determine who goes to go first. No die rolls, just high seed picks. Let's get into the deck list if we shall. Starting off with Cooper's Roronoa Zoro list. This is a very, very standard list that you're going to see a lot of times. A lot of the differences kind of like made up on the makeup of the events that you're going to be willing to play here. But most of the green Zoro decks play with a lot of the cards that were released in the same set that this leader was introduced in OP12. The Searcher for Kikinojo, or Kazuki Hiyori, sorry, and Perona both came out in the same set. The blocker came out in the set. Nice little 2K support here. Rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost 2 or less, and KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a base cost of 1. Really just used for the 2K, but also very synergistic for the deck to help you get around cheap blockers. Those one-cost blockers can often be the difference maker for this deck going for the game. You have a nice little protection card from TCG, not an OP 12, but still a very good card that's been seeing a lot of play in a lot of decks that are playing green for some protection. Down these stairs, or as Queena, as we like to call her, you may rest this character, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a base cost 4 or less, usually a blocker. Give up to 3 Rested Dawn cards to your Warnozor leader. Now, this one being at 1000, you want to get rid of this as soon as possible because you can constantly activate this ability, and it really powers up what it is that Warnozor does. This thing with 3 Dawn attached, if this leader battles an opponent's character during this turn, set it is active. So anytime it attacks the character first, it can attack again, usually to the opponent's leader. They cannot attack a character with cost 7 or less, though. So if you happen to have a lot of Dawn on it, you can attack 2 characters so long as the second one costs 7 or 8 or higher. 8, 9, or 10. So there is an option to get 2. There's also options to make it 3. So as green has been really known for getting extra swings in, this one comes with a Warnozor locked card here, where for 3, you can set your leader as active. Getting you essentially what could be 3 and even 4 attacks. Low amount, but you can get potentially 4 attacks with 3 of these in hand. What, 2 of these in hand? Yeah, 2 of these in hand. So 4 attacks from your leader, absolutely devastating, can be very, very frustrating for your opponent. You can see how fast this is, as it has the opportunity to attack board and attack leader and life every single turn, demanding resources from its opponent. Zoro, another good card for the plus. Cavendish was probably the one more expensive back in the day before PRB finally made this affordable again. But this one on play, and when attacking, your leader has supernova type characters, which it does. You can only have 1 of them out, but it basically set up to 2 of your Dawn as active for the turn. Super, super good. You cannot have more than 1 Cavendish out, but on attack and on play, you're going to get 2 more Dawn, which helps you play some of the other cards you might need in this situation. X-Drake is just another great card for unplay if your leader is supernova type. Rest up to one of your opponent's characters with cost 5 or less. Then set up to one of your Dawn cards as active to then turn. A lot of these cards want to be resting characters because people try to play around green Zoro by keeping their characters active so they can't have a character to attack in. They can only attack life and get 1 swing in. But with all these cards that basically feed it, especially without, I can't not talk about the Tashigi, which is literally the linchpin of this deck. On play, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with 6 costs or less, and give 3 rested on your Ronin Zoro. So just instant synergy. You get to rest something 6 or less, give it an attack target, give it its ability to attack twice, right on play. And on curve, if you go in first. So very, very powerful card. Very, very powerful deck that can really go fast. I like this Electrical Luna. This one, basically all your opponent's characters with the cost 7 or less will not become active during your opponent's next refresh phase. So really good to ensure you have another turn to go for game if you can't go for game in the turn that you're trying to and you know you're about to die. Very good life-saving card here. And of course some defensive spells when necessary on these other events. Dracula Mihawk, just a very good blocker at 8 cost. Restanding 4, fits perfect in this deck. It being slash type, makes sense. You get 4 back. And then you can put 3 underneath and attack and have a nice little AK blocker on your turn to try and survive for the late game. This is the Unga Bunga of 12. And it has absolutely been devastating. This is the sign off to 12, all PRB format. So no OP 13 cards allowed in this format because it just came out and didn't have enough time for people to get their decks together. So this is our ode and goodbye to the OP 12 format. And this was a house. Now on to the deck list for G-Bosk. This is a fan favorite for him. Honestly, he's been decking this thing out. He's got near completely alts for this. He had bought a lot of the EB product to try to get it because this one was EB locked in a lot of ways. The leader came from here. A lot of the support cards that were necessary to play it came from here. This one specifically, the Sanji Pudding. And it's going to be a key card for G-Bosk because we found out once we saw this deck, the deck relies heavy on seeing this card at least 1 if not 2 of to ensure the leader ability it doesn't cost you anything. So what does this card do? On your turn, once per turn, when 2 or more Dawn cards from your field are returned to your deck, add up to 1 of your Dawn cards and from your Dawn deck and set it as active. So if you have 1 out, when you return 2 you get 1 back. If you have 2 out, you get 2 back. On play, if the number of Dawn cards in your field is equal or less than the number in your opponent's field, draw a card. Nice little cycle for the draw for the on play, but the most important part's the first half. And why it's important is because this leader has a very powerful ability with a very costly effect. Dawn -2, if the only characters on your field are Straw Hat, which is important, all these are Straw Hat cards. Set up to 2 of your Dawn cards as active. Set 2 of your Dawn cards as active. Then this leader gains plus 1,000 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. So you're being able to ramp out, basically replacing the -2 to give your leader a 6,000 power, which is extremely powerful, and at a 4 life leader is a little bit more powerful than the 6,000 power leaders that were available at the time of EBO2. As we're finding out now in this OP13 format, you got a 7,000 with Roger, you got a 6,000 with Ace. There's a lot of 6,000 power leaders with Blue, Purple, Luffy. Those ones pretty much dominant in this era and are very good decks because that 6,000 power is really kind of like the power creep that One Piece happens to be offering right now. This deck, because they lean so heavy on the Sanji Pudding, are playing an abundant amount of Searchers. A lot of Searchers are in this deck trying to find the right Straw Hats to get that Sanji Pudding, preferably on curve on the 5 or 6 Dawn turn to make sure that they get these pieces out. One of the keys here, though, is going to be for the Zoro player to find ways to rest this and kill it if possible, and it's going to be important on G-Boss to protect it with certain blockers like this Raid Suit Sanji. And I think that's it for blockers. The rest of it's going to be 2Ks and counters from hand. Of course, Purple does have some of the best counters in game here. Dawn -2, and everyone knows Gum Gum Giant. It is literally the most oppressive, or 1 mana defensive spell out there. Discarding 2, drawing 2, getting plus 4,000 power. The Dawn -2 is the only restriction. Super good. Super, just one of the best out there. Usually putting a 6K leader to 10 power, super good. The most effective card, though, that we're going to see in here is going to be this Judgment of Hell. And I believe this one was tech specifically for the Roronoa Zoro deck. Counter Dawn -1, give up to a total of 2 of your opponent's leader or character cards minus 3,000 power during this turn. Most defensive spells or events like this are this battle. This one specifically is for the turn. So playing up against a deck like Roronoa Zoro, being able to play this card and weaken the attack of that Zoro down to like 5K can prevent another swing coming into your life. Super powerful card. Does do Dawn -1, but incredibly important in this format where Zoro was so dominant. And I like this tech card. Very good card for this matchup. Of course, we have the 0 cost to make sure that if you have any bricks, which this deck has a few bricks, 1, 2, 3, 4, all these events and the stage, you have a way to at least get 3,000 power out of defending them. Obviously going to play some ramp cards here and going to be playing up a Hody Jones-esque, but this is a Straw Hat because Hody Jones is not Straw Hat and you don't want to play non-Straw Hats in this deck. This is your Hody Jones, if you will, in an event card here. You can rest 3 of your Dawn, including the 1 cost, so 4 Dawn total. You can rest up to 2 of your opponent's characters or Dawn cards, or 1 of each, up to you. And a nice little 3K power defense if necessary. Has 2 modes, very good card. Hody Jones has been a threat in green forever. This deck just sadly cannot play it because of the leader lock issue. And of course, Marigo, being a nice little on play if your leader Straw Hat types, you get to draw a card, rest the stage, and the number of Dawn cards in your field is equal or less than the number in your opponent's field, up to 1 Straw Hat type character with a cost gains plus 2 costs until end of turn. So nice little defensive plays against black and yellow and blue, and some of the cards that require like cost fixing. So I'd say this one obviously is going to be pretty powerful. The Sanji Pudding, it's going to be able to protect it because a lot of the cards we already read are 6 or less. If he can give it the plus 2, making it a 7, means most of the cards that he's going to be playing against in Zoro cannot rest this Sanji Pudding. All right, nice little 2Ks. A lot of the cards you've seen before. Really good solid deck. This is able to get him 3 solid wins. Cooper with, 2 solid wins with best 2 out of 3. Both these players, neither of them got a bye, but were able to fight through the 2 that got the bye and got themselves into the finals, where we are now with Super Coop and G-Bosk. And of course, G-Bosk got the Dodgers Luffy that's been going around for like $400 or $500. Super expensive card. I want to know in the chat, who do you guys think is going to win this thing? Super Coop, G-Bosk. If you were attending this weekend, you do not get a vote. Please don't ruin it. No spoilers. On this matchup, Super Coop has a lot to work against a strategy for G-Bosk, and simultaneously G-Bosk has some tech to deal with Super Coop's deck. So I'm super excited to find out which one's going to see their tech and which one's going to be able to come out on top. And if I was wondering about the phone, I was trying to show them thumbnails because we got some really cool thumbnails for the YouTube videos for this. Guys, let me know if you're watching this on YouTube. What do you guys think of the those thumbnails I'm doing? Give me some feedback. I need it. I also need it for interaction. But I was actually able to develop that yesterday while I was doing all the prep work for this tournament today. G-Bosk gets choice because he is high seed player. 4 life to 5 life here. We're going to see how Super Cooper navigates this. If he can get early swings in the early game here, it's going to be all fire for him to go. If G-Bosk can stabilize and set up his 2 Sanji Pudding play, he might be able to take this game in his favor. We're going to start off with a search with Perona, looking for slash type or green event. G-Bosk just making sure he's grabbing the right target. Yeah, Tashigi, the best card, like we said, right off the top. Sadly, has to bottom one of the restands, but hopefully he has one in hand or replacement for it. Tashigi, the great play here, though. Wants to be on curve. G-Bosk opting to go second. Gets his 2 Dawn. Plays out his searcher, Nami. Allowing him to get the first search. Obviously, he's going to be looking for the Sanji Pudding. See if he gets it. Grabbing himself the Raid Suit Sanji off the top here. Nice little blocker. Not the greatest against Zoro decks, but still good. And another searcher. This one, the Altart. So very good start here for G-Bosk, looking 10 deep. Hopefully finding his pieces. Making sure he gets that Sanji Pudding. We'll see if he gets it. No, another searcher for Rono Zoro. So that likely going to be able to play next turn. Going to keep searching, going 15 deep if he has to try and find those Sanji Puddings. Now on Super Coop, first turn to attack. Great opportunity for him to just swing 8 at life if he wants to, maybe 5 and 5. That would be the most optimal to me, is double 5 attack here. Get the resources out of your opponent's hand, and there he goes with it. Can't get double attack from Rono Zoro here because nothing rested. Gets 1 from his hand here. We'll see if the swing gets a life. Nope, gets 2K, so 2 cards in a hand, not bad. Oftentimes when you swing 8, you're just going to get them to draw a card from life. This one able to get 2 cards from hand, so good on him. And sucking up a 2K. So G-Bosk going to clean up the board here with a nice little Nami swing into the Perona. Going in with a 5 life here because not able to activate leader effect just yet. Super Coop on the take. A little early for this, but he is a 5 life leader, so pretty common for them to take the early hit. Like we saw from the search last. Got the Rono Zoro for the search. Look at the top 5. Looking for a Straw Hat. Mostly Sanji Pudding. Let's see if he finds it. If he doesn't already have it in his hand. But absolutely going to be essentially gets online. There it is. Altart, Sanji Pudding off the top. Finally found it. There's at least 1 piece. Pass him back. Now Super Coop with the Tashigi play. Should be pretty telecasting how this one's going to be going. He's on 5 Dawn. Should be a Tashigi. Giving 3 rested Dawn to the Zoro. He has a nice little attack target to kill his Nami. And then can go in 8 to life. Continue the pressure. Yep, there's a Tashigi play. Adds 3 rested Dawn to the Rono Zoro. He's going to rest the Zoro, so I imagine the attack's going to be on the Zoro here. Then restand. Using leader ability, representing that with that little token here. Now 8 into life. G-Bosk now has to take. And Super Coop on a great curve. But now G-Bosk finally getting to get one of his pieces out to determine if he can take this game back in his favor. 3 life left. We got our Sanji Pudding. Leaving it with 1 open. Now we can finally start activating the leader ability, get it up to 6. As we're minusing Dawn. Getting 1 active back. Gonna give his leader a permanent 1,000 power up. Coming in for 6, asking for 2. We'll see if Super Coop gives it up. Took an early 1K. I hope he is not full of bricks, but he took an early. Gonna take a hit here. Could be an indicator he's not heavy on the counter here. We saw a lot of bricks in Super Coop's deck, so not great on the defensive here. Needed a simple 2K to get out of this one, and another search. Using that restand ability. This one looking for another Straw Hat card. Gonna grab another Raid Suit Alt Art this time. Raid Suit Sanji in the hand. I imagine that's gonna be it for the turn. Alright, Super Coop on the defensive. Let's see if he can follow up with another Tashigi. It'd be really good right down to see a Tashigi. Shields down for the Sanji Pudding. We got to get some massive attacks going to the Sanji Pudding. Got to get this thing off the board. If G-Boss is able to establish 2, it's going to be almost lights out here. We're going to start off with a 4 cost to do essentially what the Tashigi did. But immediately resting, skipping some steps, put the 3 underneath. Going for the Zoro. I don't like that choice. Sanji Pudding would have been my choice personally. I know G-Boss is going to have to dedicate every card in his hand to defend it. Starts his first attack going into the Zoro. Can't imagine G-Boss going to defend this, but yes, he does. 2-1 case. Here comes 8 into life. Maybe he was going life. I think those aren't those 2Ks. But still, coming into life here. G-Boss going to take on that last swing. Now at 2 to his 3. Still got a swing left for Super Coop from Tashigi. And what should be about 4. Oh, we're going to get a restand play here. A little bit early for this one personally, but going to get another attack in. Going to go life. G-Boss going to take. Tashigi coming in. Looked like he was trying to go board here. I don't really like the idea of attacking life first and then going board. This one going to defend the Zoro, it looked like. Really want to attack the board first before going to life, mostly because you're giving them more resources, more chances for 2Ks off the top. Stressing the hand in the early games right there. So, optimally, you really want to be going board first in the strategy, but here we go. Nami going to go into the down the stairs, hitting them down the stairs to the grave. Oh, getting in for attacks now. Going to try and go clean up 7 on 7. G-Boss asking for 1. Super Coop has not given a single card from hand to defend it, but now, there we go. Suki Hiyori. And the second piece for G-Boss. Now his leader absolutely free and ramping out like crazy. This deck is now on all cylinders. 2 Charlotte Puddings out. Able to activate the leader ability. Get those restands. Get the 6K power. Absolutely for net negative. Gonna restand 2, get 2 back, just like that. Absolutely disgusting. Now has access to 6 Dawn for another play if he wants to, or he can get on the attacks. And here we go, going on the offensive. 8K, where's it going? Going to Shigi, asking for 2. Super Coop, quick and grab. That could be an indicator he's got a lot of bricks in hand. Yep, gonna let it die. Okay, I would prefer to try to keep the bodies in the field. Here comes 6. Asking for 2. Super Coop on a quick take here. G-Boss might smell the blood in the water here. Super Coop not just taking a lot of these early, easy, low-to-the-ground swings and leaving 4 open. Likely playing for some defensive plays here. Needs to keep his life. He is at 1 life here. And Zoro does do a really good job of like pressuring that life hits. If he can get 1 restand, massive swing in here, G-Boss gonna need all the defense he can get. Ooh, okay. Lucky for him, not going for the restand finishing blow here, but going for the Mihawk restanding 4. Should be at 5 Dawn left at this point. We'll see if he has another Tashigi. All right, Cavendish gonna give him 2 more. It's gonna give him at least 1 7K swing. Not enough for the double attack, but setting up for a decent attack next turn. But G-Boss has to know that means he's likely going to have to really start putting some pressure on life. But leaves 1 open, 1 into attack, 6K, just needs a 2, gets a 2. Back to G-Boss. Full engines, all pieces out. 9 Dawn here. Leader ability, absolutely free. Plenty of attacks, 2 life, 1 blocker to get around. Going 8 to make sure that at least has to use a blocker and something. If he wants to keep this Mihawk alive, we'll see what Super Coop does. Decides to take. Not looking good. It's really bleeding in hand power here. Gets a trigger from life here, though. 0 cost going to rest the 4 cost. Here comes another 8. Super Coop almost immediately into the block here. Gonna get a block and a defense here. Keep it around. Although a lot of Dawn left here for G-Boss, so a lot of tax potential left here too. Could even start swinging with these Namis if he wants to. Gonna go for the draw card. Go for a quick cycle. Notable, the 2+ cost will not hurt it in the 7 for the restrictions for the leader. So if he wants to protect one of these Sanji puddings from being rested, I guess. And you got Electric Luna you got to be concerned about too. But here, a third piece for the Sanji. Good grief. Now getting leader abilities for positive. Net positive. Gonna return 2 of the Given Dawn for the ability to return all 3. Now 6 Dawn open. And 3 of these powerful Sanji Pudding plays here. Gonna activate. Merry Go. Give his smart. His non-rested one a +2 cost. That way, very little Supergoop can do to rest that one. Potentially Electric Luna. A lot of defensive spells in hand. There's one of the key pieces too. You're coming for 6. Just asking for a simple 2. We'll see if Supercoop gives it. There it is. 2K. I believe G-Boss without a moves, but a lot of Dawn open for defense plays here. We'll see what happens. Dev says, I've been playing Betty in 13 and been loving it so far. Bella Betty's a fun deck. In certain decks, it's absolutely oppressive, Devs. Absolutely. We saw a match, though, off camera that G-Boss was playing his deck. There's nothing in the deck that triggers... I'm sorry, I'm thinking of Koala. But Bella Betty's, it's a great deck. It's a glass cannon, but it's super fun. And I have the deck built to myself. Like, I still think viable because it can win so fast. If you can double Birdman, super good deck. All right, here comes our first swing. Looking like 10 underneath it. Going to use that Bagua here, giving -3 power to both Cavendish and to the leader, which means he's coming in for 6. Or 5. I can't... The Dawn looks a little wonky here. It looks like it's coming in for 6. Judgment. Yep. Judgment is a heck of a card. So, Dawn -1. Give a character and a leader -3,000 power for the turn. Not the battle. Super good against this deck. Supercoop now having to... basically, it bounces that attack into the character immediately. I say as a buggy main. What do you say? I love this against Betty. Oh yeah, Betty. Because Buggy locks up Betty. Of course you do. Yeah, our devs. I know it's an absolute arch enemy. Those 2 decks are miserable. All right, we're gonna see a Gum Gum Giant play here to cycle through some of this no counter. Drawing 2, discarding 2. This on the secondary attack from Morno Zoro here. Now that Cavendish only attacking for 3, it's going to need a Dawn investment if it wants to get swinging. And Supercoop's offense looking a little bit weak now. All right, let's see what he does. Supercoop gonna attach 4 to the 3. That's a 7K swing. Gonna need at least a 2K if he's going live. Has plenty of resources though. Looks like we're gonna see another Gum Gum Giant. Gonna return 2 more. Discarding a Judgment, meaning he knows he can go for game next turn. Scary to see that he could discard that thing, knowing he only has 2 of them, and it's one of the best defensive cards against his deck. But G-Boss obviously feeling pretty confident. He's gonna be able to take this game in his favor here. Coop at 1 life. Resting the blocker. You have that, we're just talking about the Hody Jones event card here. Paying the 4 to rest the blocker. This should be game here. Super Coop has not been able to defend against even the weakest attacks, demonstrating a very low counter hand. We're going to see the 7 coming to life. Supercoop, no more blocker. Oh yeah, Devs, that's the leader in there. Looks a little bit different because the Dodgers. 8K coming in for the hit. Another 8. Did he get enough for the 2-card discard? He's got the 2-card discard. Still has 2 more attacks left. Yeah, that's going to be it. Knew there was no cards left at the point here. And G-Boss takes game number 1. Congratulations, G-Boss. Game 1 goes G-Boss. Now the next one's going to be on Supercoop. He's got choice now that he's lost the battle. Uchiha says, it feels so weird watching this from the camera view and not from the view across the room, right? Yeah, we were both playing Union Arena watching over from this side. So it's still a little different, a little bit different. All right, skip ahead for all the shuffling. This will be a great time to talk about like side decks here. Like if G-Boss could have had that. Yeah, GG's indeed, first last Johnny. GG's indeed. But this is a great opportunity like to talk about like when we do these best 2 out of 3s and we introduce this next time, side decks are definitely going to be a thing. I'm calling for a 10 card side deck card that you can have for certain matchups. So that way G-Boss has the opportunity to play those cards that are key to this, and Supercoop has the ability to play cards that are key against this deck in the side here. What you mean you don't like most of your characters not being able to swing, right? I mean, it's good card. These are great cards, but they're so teched. And you saw just how powerful this card was for G-Boss. I don't know what other matchups it's really good in, but that Judgment, super good in this format and this matchup. And that's just one of those cards where you definitely want to see that in the side for this type of matchup. Looks like Supercoop opted to go first still. Gonna get a nice going Merry Draw and a search off the top here. Looking for a Sanji. G-Boss gonna get the right to go second again. I guess Supercoop just really values the extra pressure going first here. Curly says, it would have helped me, my deck was not ready for Zoro, and it should have been. Well, I mean, yeah, you could have had some side deck cards for some tech work, because there is some Silver's Rayleigh that does have answers for the Zoro deck. This side deck would have helped me, absolutely. So going forward, side decks is going to be a thing that we introduce. Multipass, welcome back, good to see you. This is the Pirates Championship, the finals round. G-Boss up 1. Supercoop on the defense, trying to make sure he can get back in this game. See if he can take game 2 and tie it up. G-Boss, 4-cost search. See a lot of the same thing. Looking for the Sanji Pudding, not finding it. Getting the Usohachi. I'm sorry, he could have it in hand, but that's usually the search he's looking for. Can't see quite well. Can't see if he has it or not in hand here, but likely still looking for it. Supercoop on the pass back. Taking that 5 hit here. Still has a blocker up. Has some kind of defensive against this deck here. Really needs to see something. Maybe Tashigi right now. That'd be pretty OP. Getting a Tashigi online here. Oh, we're going for a Cavendish play. Okay. This one going to restand 2 on play. This gives a nice little 7k swing into life. And an offensive body for the next turn. Coming in 7. G-Boss with a quick take. This is the first life hit for him. Easy answer, easy answer. Don't need to give him too many resources just yet. 6 Dawn for G-Boss. We'll see if he can get out of Sanji Pudding. Needs to get at least 2 of them out to really take control. Here's the first. So already just -1, not -2 here for the activation. Gonna get one of those back and restand 2. So gonna back to a 4 Dawn. We'll see if he can utilize it. Nice little 6k leader for the turn. 6 coming to life. See if he gets 2k from his Coop. Gets it. Here comes another 6. Do we get another 2k from Coop? This one can be a take. All right, now we'll not give up 2 cards in hand yet. This one at least being defended last time. Man, he took some easy hits. G-Boss looking how he's going to spend the last 4 of his Dawn here. Probably would have loved to have seen 5 so he can get double Sanji Pudding, but nope, gonna go for the 2-cost Nami here. Get a decent search on. This one great because it also has trigger. Looking for a straw hat, see what he finds. Did he find another piece with Sanji Pudding? Put it down pretty quickly, so I imagine he didn't find what he's looking for. Let's see what his answer is here. Obviously looking for another Sanji Pudding piece. He found one. All right, 2 pieces online. Now Super Coop has got to get rid of the first, or he's going to start falling behind. Activate the merry-go because he did return Dawn, so it's going to get +2 cost. Going to make it a lot harder for him to set this Sanji Pudding. We'll see if he can get around that. Great defensive play from G-Boss here. All right, Super Coop at 7 Dawn. Has a Cavendish to restand 2 more. We'll see where this goes. Great play for Kuina. Maybe could, I mean, you can kind of set the Nami, I guess, with the Tashigi play. We'll see what he gets. All right, another blocker for 2. This guarantees he has 2 more to restand when he swings with Cavendish. Usually the sequencing would be pretty bad, but you want to get the restand effect here. All right, 2 coming at him for a total of 8k to life here. Asking for 2 cards. Gets it, and a judgment off the top here. So I'm going to get a -3 and -3 to leader here. So leader at 2k. Cavendish now at total of 5. So it'll bounce off to 6. Massive swing here. Let's go. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7k swing. Gets a 2. Gets to restand. 7 men to life. Needs another 2. See if G-Boss takes life or takes 2. If he takes this, could be a good indicator. He's low on counter here. But Coop not even phased. All right, takes it. And a trigger from life. There we go. This is why we play it. Gonna get a search. That's why this Nami has been seen so much played recently. That beautiful 2-cost, get a search off the play. Trigger to play the card. Gets the restand. Okay, G-Boss could be trying to go for lethal here. That double attack Monkey D. Luffy secret rare is his choice. Something we didn't see last game. But imagine this turn, he's still going to need to set up his board state. So likely having to set up for the Sanji Pudding. If he wants to maintain pressure and keep the pressure on the board here. Does have to fight through 2 blockers. Cavendish likely going to be nice and protected. The 3000 minus is no longer in effect. That is just for the turn. Starting off with a search. This way he has Dawn to actually return with leader ability. Looking for another straw hat. Another 2k to hand or a blocker if he wants to, because he is going to be minusing quite a bit, so this blocker can be cheap. Opting not to go for the Sanji Pudding, which is pretty interesting here. We're going to return 2, get 1 back. Could have gone not positive. I don't know why I needed the search. I think I would have gone Sanji Pudding here. Six to life. Asking for 2. He gives it. All right, another 7 to life. Risking it. Having it in the rested position. Okay, 7 to life here. Cooper going to take. 6k needs a 2 to block. 2k gives it up. Looks like Tashigi was a play there. No more attacks left for G-Boss here. Is going to try and protect his Zoro. Makes sense. Doesn't want him to rest it. 6, Tashigi can still rest it, but other cards, not so much. And G-Boss likely trying to put up some kind of blocker, or maybe trying to avoid the blocker just using the 2k. He does know that blockers just mean an extra attack, usually. But blockers can protect some of your characters. So if he wants to keep this Sanji Pudding alive, playing a blocker would not be too bad right now. Nami not really doing much on the defense here. Has returned enough Dawn and decides to pass. All right, playing a lot of offensive defense here. Passing back to Super Coop. Didn't want to play the blocker. Super Coop, which should be at 9 Dawn this turn. If he can get through no blockers here, So there's a question that they asked the judge. He accidentally saw the card. I told G-Boss that he had the option to bottom it, shuffle, or keep it on top, and gave Super Coop a warning. So I was judging in this format here, and what you're seeing here is he told me he saw the top of his deck. I gave G-Boss the option to allow him to keep it on top, put it in the bottom, or shuffle the deck. And he said just keep it on top. It was an honest mistake from Super Coop. Just a little nervous trying to get to his turn. And these sleeves, honestly, guys, you got to get outer sleeves for these things. I love these sleeves to death. Don't get me wrong. These things are phenomenal. But if you don't get outer sleeves, they do not shuffle very well. They do not last very well. And that's when you're doing for the draw, like you saw with Super Coop, they stick a lot. So you have to be very careful with these sleeves. They do not shuffle well. They stick horribly badly. So I definitely would recommend you guys at home get the over sleeves. $13. Beautiful to play. Don't get me wrong. I love them, but you got to get those over sleeves of the matte backs. Causes problems like this, and a bigger judge in a different situation would just call it for maybe even a harsher punishment. First Slash Johnny says, isn't Tashigi base cost 6? It is. So the +2 doesn't help. Yeah, it doesn't. Sorry for missing that. I got too many screens to pay attention to at First Slash Johnny. But yes, you're right. I mean, the only thing it really helps again is like the other one that's like 4 costs less, so Downey Stairs could have protected it from that if you wanted to. Big swing here. 10 Dawn. All the remaining Dawn after the Mihawk play here. We'll see if he protects the Zoro. Looks like he's going to try. 10 to 10. He's got to discard 1. And still owes him another counter. There it is, 2K. So, G-Boss protecting the field, but here comes another 10K into life. Can't attack anything else on the board based on the leader ability. So G-Boss has to give up another 4. No, 5, sorry. Let's see if he wants to minus twice here with 2 Gum Gum Giants. Guess you got the math wrong? Decide to take. I feel like the math was right there, though. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gum Gum Giant. Now the math was right. Here comes 6. Gonna get 2K out of him. 6. Needs another 2K. Super good with 2Ks for days today. Now able to defend himself. Good on him. Hasn't had to use any of these blockers at this point. Sanji blocker the play. Can activate leader ability. Restand 2. Get 1 back from the Sanji pudding. No, G-Boss hasn't played the double Sanji pudding yet, which really is where this deck starts to pay off. But Sanji, alright, I like this. Protecting the Raid Suit Sanji here. Putting it at 8. This should prevent Super Coop from being able to rest that. Outside of maybe Dead Man's Game, which does not have a cost restriction. Here comes 7, asking for 2 cards. Easy block here for Coop if he just wants to take the free block with Mihawk. Alright, 8, nope. Forgot about the Mihawk. It's going to get one of the 2 cost blockers, though. Back to Super Coop, full 10 Dawn. 1 life for G-Boss. Got a lot of swings here. If G-Boss can fight, or I'm sorry, Super Coop can fight through the defensive plays here. Another Mihawk, okay. Probably doesn't have the restand. But it's going to put him back at 5. 7 if he gets the attack from Cavendish. Sorry, no, put it back to 6. 8 if he puts back the Cavendish. 8 Cavendish into the Zoro. Prioritizing board still. G-Boss want to let this one go finally. I don't know if I'm Super Coop. I think I'm probably going for life here more than anything, especially this late in the game. Big loaded up, everything left here. Going into Sanji. Pudding, does he get the Sanji block? Could get the Sanji block here. Talking about the math, how he got so much was because of the restand. Is he willing to give it up here? Okay. Returning the Given Dawn here. Discarding. Gonna draw 2. Is that enough? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the 2K, that's enough here. Alright, coming into life. G-Boss on the take. But G-Boss now knows this is do or die time. Super Coop with 3 blockers. 2 life. G-Boss get none. Super Coop could take this back. We'll see how he plays it. And G-Boss is really low on Dawn. He's had to return so much with those those Gum Gum Giants. He's down to next to nothing here. I mean, when you pay 2 of those things back to back, it is absolutely devastating sometimes. Electric Luna. All right, this is going to rest the 2 blockers, so it looks like he's going to try and go for game. Returning 2, restanding 2. Here comes 6. Gets a 2K. Here comes 6. On the take. On a 7. Super Coop debating on attacking. If he attacks with Sanji, this game is absolutely over. He's got a blocker left. And no Dawn to give. All right, going all out. 5. All it needs is 1, and there it is. And still have blocker, too. G-Boss instantly knows this game is over. Went for the only line he had left. And Super Coop, just like that, ties it up. To make it easier for the YouTube video and try to get the cuts in here, I'm going to interject myself right now and get into the final round. If you're on YouTube, you're watching this as a one only. If you're here live, it's exciting. It's now down 1-1. Super Coop and G-Boss head-to-head here. Winner after this match is going to take home the coveted trophy. We're going to see the interviews and everything after this. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. But it's come down to this, to game 3. Super Coop changing up a strategy, keeping those 2Ks in hand, being able to defend himself quite well in that matchup here, and definitely showcasing how nice it is to play the best 2 out of 3. First game, bricked up, couldn't block some easy early attacks, had nothing in counter in hand, just couldn't defend through it, and G-Boss with a double judgment really finishing up that game last one, the first game. Second game, all the counter in Super Coop's hand. Blockers, all the stuff he needed in the answers, and plenty of offense to come back in this game and really take it in his favor. Super exciting to see this. I'm really looking forward to seeing who's going to take home the trophy. Obviously, I know, but I'm super fun to look at the game again. It's a great time. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you're out there on YouTube land. We're going to get the third final matchup. And of course, for all those people joining me live, 2 packs at the end of the stream, PRB. We got half a box left, guys. A lot of good stuff to go. Let's get back to the final match between Cooper and G-Boss. GG's indeed, first and last, Johnny. GG's indeed. I'm loving this. Back and forth, both players at 1-1. Best 2 out of 3. One of the things that definitely going to be introduced next season is a sideboard, because I really think that this is the best way to play this game. When you have players who know how to play the game, it goes pretty fast. Not to mention, when you do have a format that's best 2 out of 3, players tend to play a little bit faster. They're not really taking slow turns. You're not having a lot of like brain thinkers. A lot of times when you're playing best of 1, you're going to get a lot of these 5-minute turns where people are just in the tank, not willing to concede the idea that they're finished, or trying to come up with some way to get out of the hole they're in, and just playing for these forever long games. Whereas when you have best 2 out of 3, yeah, you can play a little bit looser. All right, Super Coop with the same play he started off last time. This could be a good start for him. Getting a 2-cost blocker and a 6K swing. An immediate take for G-Boss, going down to 3 life. But G-Boss has been on the draw every single time. And good sequence in here. Get the 5-in swing first. Even though there are actually some triggers in Super Coop's deck that could have rested his character. So smart on him to make sure he didn't dedicate to the board first. 4, gonna go search, looking for a Sanji Pudding. Let's see if we can find it. Always want to have at least 2 of those in hand. There it is. All-Tart Sanji Pudding off the top. Rona Zoro Clutch. Finding that key piece that we'll likely see next turn. That's likely going to be a pass back to Super Coop. Super Coop on 5. Tashigi would be the best play here. The most optimal for this deck. Why we call it Unga Bunga. The lines are kind of easy to tell. Has two lines, the down D stairs and the Tashigi, both giving him opportunities for this. We're going to go with the Tashigi. Nice. On the curve. Rest in the Zoro. Giving the 3 Dawn. Going 8 into the Zoro. Asking for 2. 2 and 1. Gets 2 and 1. Now it can't attack the Zoro again, but it can tech life here. And G-Boss on the take. Early pressure here from the Super Coop. Trying to end this as quick as possible. But now we're going to see Sanji putting piece number 1 for G-Bosk. Trying to set up for the long game here. Only losing 1 Dawn here for the activation. Going to restand 2, take 1 back with the Sanji pudding. Good healthy hand for G-Bosk here. We're going to come in for 6. Looking for a 2K. Can Super Coop block this one? Yeah, in the game 1 had to take a lot of hits, but yes, has 2K with Tashigi. 6. Does he have a 2K? Does have the 2K. All right, that one looking like the Frogman. I can't remember his name. The 2K. You guys gotta help me. I'm sorry. It's hard to with all the names. I'm terrible with names as it is. If I don't talk to you every single day and see your face, I'm terrible with names. Interesting. Okay. Using the restand to go for another Zoro to put up the offensive here. Gonna search for the 5. Hopefully find another piece with Sanji pudding. Finds a raid suit Sanji or a 2K, wherever he wants to use it for. Blocker 2K. Really good card. And that's going to be the turn. Passing back to Super Coop. Super Coop really needs to find some way to rest his Sanji pudding. Try to pressure G-Boss while the down is tapped. Because G-Boss with a lot of defensive Dawn spells here, or events here. So while he's down, shield's down, best window of opportunity here to get in that Sanji is going to be now. But nope, going straight up to the attack. Going 10 into the Zoro. Imagine G-Boss going to be quick to just let that one go. Got to save the defensive cards for his life here. Yeah, absolutely. Let that one go. He's got to worry about the Tashigi attack and this one. 10, going to be a quick grab here. Should defend out of the 7-9. Excuse me. So, going to need a 2 and 1. G-Boss needs to preserve his life here. Gives him 2 2Ks. But survives the turn. And the second piece of Sanji pudding is online. G-Boss decks now officially on all cylinders. Capable of doing everything it needs to. Every move, a net even. One more and it's net positive. Midnight says, I'm proof he's not good with names. Oh, he called me Lauren for the longest time. Yeah, seriously. I got enough evidence. I got enough evidence against me. I'm bad with names. Here comes 9. Where's this one going? Is it going board? Now, debating about wanting to make one of his pieces vulnerable. I can understand that. G-Boss on the take back here. Doesn't want to leave one of his absolutely key pieces vulnerable to an Zoro attack, but it is going to do it. 8 into Tashigi, asking for 2. Does G-Boss does Super Coop have the defense? No. Oh, no. That's a huge tell for G-Boss here. Meaning he's very likely low on defensive spells. Could be bricked up here. Coming in for 6, getting 2 1Ks. Yeah, and oh, that looked like a trigger, but didn't look like it was going to be playable. G-Bosk, with the knowledge, Super Coop's a little low on counter here. Same problem he had in game 1. And now with the time to go searching for a 2K, 4 open Dawn, G-Bosk on all cylinders, plays a lot of defensive events with Dawn requirements. Especially Judgment being the most critical one in this matchup. Super Coop has to find a way to try to fight through this now. Maybe go for the I'm Invincible 3-hit swing. And hopefully get at least through 2 of those hits through. But G-Boss, 4 open, not looking strong. Here comes 8 into Zoro. Oh, Judgment in hand. Here's a 2, Judgment, -3. 5 into 6 is just going to bounce. Give it -3 because he can, I guess. -3 to the blocker. Not really going to do anything, but... Now, a total of 3 more added, which means he's back up to 8. 2 2Ks. Or 2K and a 1K. Sorry. Gonna get the restand. But that's gonna be it. And he's gonna get a giant out of him. Returning to... That's gonna be it for Super Coup. There's a discard. Draws 2. And I think Super Coup's out of options here. Judgment, a key answer. Now, G-Bosk is low on Dawn here. Only going to be a 6. He's got 4 life to fight through, 4 attacks. Mathematically, there could be a line here for victory. Going to start off the quick draws. Here we go. Here comes 6. Here comes 7. Gets 2 and a 1, I assume. Here comes 7. Blocks. Here comes 5. Super Coup on the take. He knows he's weak. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here comes 6. Does Super Coup have the 2? He does. But still at 1. Leaving 5 open. Good grief. Super Coup has to go for a massive swing. It looks like there's another judgment in hand, too. Here's the first swing. Four. Looks like we're going to get a judgment. -3. Now down to 6. See what he has. Super Coup. Yeah, he did give up the 1 for that. Super Coup now realizing he's got a 6K leader and a 6K. Needs to hit twice. Use his restand last turn. Here's a restand. A little out of order here. Here comes 6 and a 6. Are we going to see another Thunderbogwa I think I just saw? Yeah, Super Coup just looks like he got the wind knocked out of him here. Playing the card a little out of order here. Should have swung first. Still feeling the wind knocked out of him here. Another, looks like it, another Thunderbogwa for the -6. His leader now at 0? No, 3. 3K. 3K swing. Even with another attack, I think he's out of options. That's it. Back to G-Boss turn. That was all Super Coup had, and double judgment taking over the game. Super Coup already demonstrated he has no counter in hand. Let's see what G-Boss does with it. Here comes an 8. Gets the life. Load up. Here comes 8, leaving some so he can tap for leader if he needs to pop it up. Gets 2 cards in a hand. And Super Coup didn't, just absolutely conceding no more defense for any more attacks. And our winner, G-Bosk. Congratulations, G-Bosk, our pirate champion. And there you have it. Green Purple Luffy able to take down Green Zoro. The king of the greens is Monkey Luffy today. Right now, we got some interviews to cover over. Check this out. We got a really cool time to talk with those individuals, see what their thoughts were and how they felt about that matchup. I really can't wait to show you guys. I had a lot of fun doing this. I'm going to be playing these things up here. You guys can check out from the booth what it was like between and what was going on in the heads of these two great players. Thank you all for being here so far. I'm going to try and get the volume just about right. But check out these interviews. Back to Humber Pie. I'm your host, Jimmy D. With me, Super Coop, right?
Yeah.
Super Coop here with me,
Yeah.
our second place runner-up for the Pirate Champion. Brother, you've been in at least 3 of our championships.
Maybe.
And that's the first you've gone. This is the highest you've gone. This is
know.
an impressive run. You had 2 rounds where you're playing Green Zoro. You were cleaning up house out there. You didn't even start at the top because the first round people got a bye. So you end up having to grind all 3 levels to get to this level.
Yeah, why didn't I get a bye?
Because you didn't place high enough. You got to place a little bit higher, and then you can get that position. Both players actually
Yeah,
in
but
the
also,
finals.
I never had to choose first or second.
I know. That makes it even harder.
Why?
Because you had to get a higher place. The more you showed up, the more you attended, the higher the points. That was a value. So one of the extra benefits for being at the top of the bracket was to be able to get choice in this one. And this one was given to G-Bosk in this one. Do you think that was a major factor in the game between you and G-Bosk?
No.
No? What do you think was the biggest factor?
I don't know.
Too solemn judgment?
He's better at the game.
Well, I mean, he's good at the game, but you're pretty good at the game. You got to the second place.
Well, I mean, he's better because he got first.
In the standings.
I'm not wrong.
I mean, in the standings, yes, he did. He is represented as a better player. I think everybody has an opportunity to be a good player. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
You did pretty well. You went through your first round. How'd that one go?
Fast.
And you won.
Yeah.
Was it 2-0? Excellent. And your second round, how'd that one go?
2-0.
And pretty fast.
Yeah.
So you're cleaning house. You're doing the Unga Bunga style. You're doing the Zoro Unga Bunga.
Sure.
How did you?
Agreeing with you?
I mean, that is a tactic to use in these interviews. Can I ask you some difficult questions?
No,
You sure?
you don't.
You said you were going to just say yes to everything. So can I ask
Well,
you?
I never said I was going to say yes. I said I was going to agree with you.
When did you stop beating your chair?
Huh?
Huh?
See, this is why I didn't want to do this.
Right? This is crazy. Why? There's difficult questions like Super Coop. Have you?
No,
ever,
you're just making up questions now.
No, I have these all ready prepared.
I don't
Like,
believe you.
I'm super concerned about your political views and how you see the world.
I'm 13.
I
I'm
need to know how
13.
you see the world. Do you see it dying tomorrow? Is the world going to end tomorrow?
James, I'm 13. Oh my god.
You're 13 and you did an impressive job. Right all the way up to the secondary. You did a really good job, Super Coop. I'm really proud of you. Honestly, you got some packs, got some great prize support, got some amazing packs that you get to open. We got a box opening video with you where you got some amazing pulls in there. This is
I
a
didn't
lot of my
pull
box.
anything good.
Well, your dad did out of the box, and those cards do go to you. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Mm-hmm. And then what are we going to be playing in 13? Because I already heard what your deck is. What's OP13 going to win for you?
Multiple decks.
What's the one you're going to primarily?
Emu.
Yeah, exactly. Emu. This man already beating the crap out of his dad just for fun with that Emu deck. So that's going to be your primary?
Maybe.
Maybe. All right.
Maybe.
You have to find out and turn in because we got some awesome tournaments coming out of us. We got some awesome side events. You're going to be showing up for those really cool events we're going to have for the rest of the Christmas season? This holiday season? Maybe. You don't know. What do you think about your dog?
Cool dog.
It is a cool dog. It is a really cool dog. You got to
It's
sit
kind
down.
of
Right?
dumb, but it's a cool dog.
It's a great dog. I love it. It's been fantastic. How many walks have you taken out so far?
A few.
A few? Yeah. Yeah.
Few.
Yeah. Good on you. Good on you.
Whenever you play like fetch with it, it's like just about every object, and like you throw it in a certain direction, every object that's hittable is getting hit.
Okay, that's good to know.
Dog's clumsy.
Oh, it's a wonderful dog. Dogs
a
can be
cute
clumsy.
dog.
She's a puppy. She's gonna get up there.
Puppy.
All right. So
You
anything
should
you want
let
to
me
say?
bring the dog on camera.
I wish I could. Unfortunately, not in the story. I know. Is there anything you want to tell the folks at home?
Dogs are cool.
Dogs are cool. That is a good
Dogs are
message.
cool.
Write that down. Thank you all for being here. We're going to get in the championship bracket. Seriously, dude, congratulations. You did a great job. I'm really proud of you. Well done. Second place here. We got it.
Yeah.
And welcome back to Humble Pie. I'm your host, Jimmy D. With me,
I'm G-Boss.
G-Boss in the house, winning it, taking it down, champion.
Yep.
Brother, you put in the work, you got there with green purple Luffy of all decks.
Yes.
Why that deck?
Because I have the alts for it. I spent a lot of money on that leader.
Yeah,
I'm going to run that leader.
Yes, you did. So what were your first couple rounds like?
Well, sadly, I had a bye, and I'm not a fan of that because I wanted to play. But
Yeah.
first round was against Koala, and
Mm.
it wasn't too bad. But
Do you have a whole lot of top end for quality proc? Because I know like you got a little lower ground stuff, right? 7
Yep.
cost for the Sanji pudding. You gotta get that line.
highest cost card I got is 7.
Wow.
That's it.
So it didn't even proc it at all. That's a really good matchup for you.
Blue. Yep.
Oh, wait, you say no? Was it a bad matchup?
I don't know. It's hard. I mean, it kills my Luffy Taro turn, so I can't cheat in stuff because then I can still. But it's still a tough matchup because they just swing. They get a ton of value. I don't have a lot of interaction besides just killing stuff.
Right.
So.
But still,
good.
Yeah, you got. I think it was second place last time. Or you were pretty close to the top when in the last couple tournaments.
I think it was top 8 last
Yeah,
time.
you're
I
definitely
played,
top
so.
8. And we're playing 16 before. This one is just its own top 8 here. Because we did separate it and got ourselves the Pirate
Was
Champion.
that one top 4?
It was top 4? I was going to say, I remember being really close to the end of the interviews and interviewing you on that one. You were, it was a really good commentary. You got to check it out. But how has this season been for you? We actually sat down, those who don't know, behind the scenes stuff. After the last championship, we must have been for 3-4 hours sitting down and just trying to work out.
A solid hour, just theory, throwing up ideas, stuff like this. And honestly, in an extra hour of just like cleaning it up.
Yeah.
But like then you took it home, you took the work. And I think honestly what you did with it was great. I love the multiple, champion. It works
Yes.
so well. Like it, the top 8 players who are going to show up all the time,
the ones chasing that big manga, but then there's great prize support, store credit, get yourself the medal.
Yeah,
You've got the credit. We got an awesome Dawn stuff that we're going to be handing out here.
The
We're going to talk to you about
The
that.
Don are sick.
Right?
Whoever did the art for the Don, I gotta say, gorgeous.
You better. She's right behind
Oh,
the
my
camera.
bad.
You don't start complimenting the crap out of the person behind the camera. She did a great job.
She
I
did.
love the Dawn. We're handing out some really cool stuff. And new merch coming away soon from all this awesome work that she's been able to offer us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about your political views?
Not right now.
Thank you. We're gonna
Maybe-
we're-
Maybe if we get to a couple beers into this
right.
conversation.
Oh, there we go.
I think then, but this is One Piece. I don't wanna swing-
What's the politics like? Take over government? There you go.
I don't want to swing AK at leader, and my response to my opponent is, so what's your stance son,
Right.
on the government right
The
now?
government. What's going on? What do you think?
Like, I don't want that right now.
That's one of the best things about this. By the way, all of you at home, you're not going to see my political opinion anywhere because I just no. This is a place for us to all to get together. It doesn't matter. We're all interested in One Piece. We're all interested in the IPs that we play. You and I are going to be playing some Ripbound here soon.
Oh, yeah.
After this, going to be super excited.
Super
We're
addicted.
here to play cards, have fun. At home, do the same thing. You can find some common ground, and just by not knowing, it'll make you all better off. Just don't care. Move on. We got our lives to build. We got great friendships to build, and none of what we have here is going to be demolished by anything else that happens outside. Because what matters is how we treat each other, and we treat each other well. And I love this community.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of community, do you have any comments you want to talk about the community?
Oh yeah. Super Coop, my previous opponent, don't let him fool you. He's a shark.
He is a shark.
He is absolutely going to run your pockets if you let him. Don't let him fool you.
Yep.
That man might be 13 with some strong political views, but I do not trust that. That man's got a smile of gold,
Right?
but a heart of a dagger. He will take your money.
He will.
Be careful.
Yes.
Be careful.
You're
He
making
likes-
it sound like I'm a robber.
You are. You come in here. I'm only 13. I'm only 13, and it
And
just
I'm-
reveals Exodia, and you're like,
Playing the hardest match I've ever fought, ever. I'm like, damn. Man over here, 13-year-olds running my pockets?
What?
I got $4 left. Go. But everybody's great,
Absolutely.
Even like, us like who like do casual can't show up every week. It's still
Yeah.
a lot of fun to come. And
Yeah.
even like if you're just playing for fun decks or you're playing meta, there's players everywhere for you. And
Right.
it's just so good. It's just good vibes all around.
And that's why we did it. You got to separate the two tiers. And one of the biggest things that hopefully other card stores can learn from this, the reason we separate the two is because not everyone can come up like Porter every single week. Not everyone has that free time, and some people can, especially you're over the mountain too.
Yeah.
So it's a trek for you to get out here, and it's a dangerous one sometimes too.
I'm an hour drive, you know. I got deer coming out on the road. The weather could be really bad. You know, sometimes the sheriffs want to give me a ticket.
Oh gosh.
So
I actually was able to count 20 different animals. I thought it was in a Disney movie, trying to come around that. Is it 33 or whatever that is?
I think so. I think
it's
a blind bend.
Yes.
Yep.
That road is insanely terrifying. Do it a day. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's how the DMV tests to see drivers in Virginia. I'm pretty sure that's the case. But it is a great test.
Mm-hmm.
That's why nobody can drive.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's going to do it for today. Our champion,
Sounds good.
G-Boss, in there, in the photo. Congratulations. Brother, I'm proud of you.
I'm proud
Get
too.
that prize support out there. Get back in here. Let's see you for some of these side events if we can. And in Riftbound, because you should be on camera at some point.
I want to play some Riftbound, baby.
Right? Let's
Riftbound's
do it.
good. You know, not sponsored Riftbound.
Yeah, right. Not sponsored by any of these TCGs we play here. And that's just so fun. We play all of them. They're all great. We have channels for each one if you guys want to check it out. We got YouTube channels. If you're out here watching this on YouTube, hit the like and subscribe button, guys. Help us grow this channel to be even better, bring you better content and awesome content with G-Boss here, taking down a tournament like this, right?
Absolutely.
Let's see it. All right, we're going to get back to me and Spencer in the studio. We'll see you soon. Well, it's supposed to be me and Spencer in the studio, but he's an adult and he had work to do, and that's unfortunately how it goes sometimes. Great interviews, great time. I definitely took to heart all of Super Coop's political views. It was eye-opening to see the eyes to a 13-year-old. To know, don't listen to a 13-year-old about their political opinions. That's what I learned from that. All right, guys, I do have a promise I've made out to you. If you're out there, Cy, I promise you guys to show you what the season mat look like. This one, not for sale, just for personal use. Season 5. Check it out. This was each season we've had a mat to represent it, and we've had one in the back to kind of like commemorate. Yeah, I bought one of each one, so I actually have every single season's mat that we've had up to this point. But this is the season 5 mat that you guys had an opportunity to get. Unfortunately, the order's already done, so you have to wait to season 6 to get your mat from there. I also want to showcase some of the cool prize support that you guys didn't get to see. Tazzy, yeah, I thought so too. That was art and stuff done by Chris, and getting some stuff together for that one. So personal use, not for sale. We will not be putting that on merch. We will not be putting that for sale because it's illegal and it's not IP locked. But talking about stuff that we are going to be giving away for some future prize support or some future merch that we've been working on. I've been working heavily with the artists, and we were complimenting there. Midnight out there doing a wonderful job. She's been able to make some really cool Dawn cards and stuff that we introduced this turn. So this is the Dawn for the Pirate Championship. Each player got a Dawn representing their placement within the tournament. 7th and 8th obviously had the work-related issues, so they couldn't actually perform, but each person got their 1st, 2nd, 3rd through 6th placement in commemoration for being a pirate champion. This is a little Dawn that we've made specifically for our channel here at the Humble Pie channel. This is one of our mascots here that we'll be using for future art and for future projects to represent the channel, but she did a wonderful job. The dragon ninja thing, dragon kind of being my thing in the background, if you guys knew about a lot about my stuff and dragons. But this is one of our first little giveaways that we're going to be trying to make non-placement specific, but if you guys want to get some really cool Dawn, our champions got something very similar to this. This is the action point for Union Arena that we have developed, and this one will be going on sale soon. This is me, representation of the what my artist thinks of me, which I think is pretty good considering I didn't ask her to draw this. She just drew what she thought of me when she saw me on this and just put together beautiful art. If I can ever get the money to afford an anime avatar, I'm definitely getting this thing like as one of my avatars for other videos because I think this is great. But this is actually fits one of my D&D characters from like 10 years ago. I was playing a Dragonborn, so kind of neat. She just drew this from what little she knew of me and put this together, and now we gave away Dawn that had this art with this placement on it. So everyone who played in the top 8 got this art, but as a Dawn card. And we're going to be doing this for action points for Union Arena and energy for Gundam. Looking into potentially doing some stuff for the runes as well. For Riftbound as we get going there. I won't be doing anything magic related. They get a little ornery when it comes to doing lands and stuff like that. And that's in the deck. The thing I love about these is these external to the deck, so you really can't get too heartbroken about resources are located outside of the game, right? And most people aren't going to get too antsy about, oh my god, that's unofficial. But these are legal for our local store gameplay. Dev says, is that a full print or a sticker over the action point? It's a sticker over the action point. So the only printer access I have, this guy does Matt's proxies, MP right here. I don't know if you guys can see the QR code here, but Matt's Magic Proxies is the person I go through to get these things made. He's got a nice little 3D printer that adds extra foily glitter to the art that was provided by Midnight. So she drew both of these. We've got a few more that she's drawn up for us, so we're going to be selling out there. You guys got to get on my Patreon for free, but that'll let you know when the products go live. So if you guys want to buy these things, they'll be available for you to pick up. Relatively good price. We haven't worked on it yet, but as I get more of these from Matt's Magic Proxies, if we start producing these a little bit faster, we'll put up this stuff for inside merch for the Humber Pie channel for any of the card games you guys might want to get some stuff for. I think it's really cool. We want to give these away as like a big thank you to everyone who was part of the championship. Cost me roughly about $200 for everything because I got a big stack of them. So really just want to say thank you to Matt's Magic Proxies for giving us the opportunity to add some additional prize support, and say thank you to all those people that really put in the good work to make it to the top here. Now, obviously, this should be the end of it for the championship series. We will be going on to the next round, essentially, and with those interviews, but because Spencer couldn't make it today, just me. That means that's it for the day. You guys listened to me rant for 2 hours about TCGs. You saw me cover the last match of the Pirate Championship, and I'm telling you right now, show up next Monday, a week from today, for the championship series. We've got a great tournament to cover. I've done a lot of work from it. We had interviews, a whole 9 yards. There was like a lot of prizing, a lot of talking back and forth, a lot of engagement. The emotions were high. The energy was high. Guys, it was an epic tournament, and I can't wait to show you, Case, who won this event, but not until next Monday when Ocean Man's here with me in the studio. So stay tuned for that. I will have those 3 rounds. It's going to be action-packed, nonstop, no commercial breaks. Every single moment is going to be out and related to the event, and I will be giving away at least, if not more, 2 packs of PRB. W Stream, thank you very much. I appreciate the devs. Now it's time for the pack giveaway. Let's get into finding out who is going to walk away with our 2 free packs. Devs, Tazzy better be on here. Tazzy on here. Tazzy Disc, Midnight Witch is on here. Can't wait to not win again. We'll see, Sire. This could be your lucky day. Let's see. I need to make sure I got everybody. If you notice your name is missing, multipass. Please let me know if you see your name on here and it's not listed. I don't have the a bot running in the background like it used to help me make sure that anytime you guys hit exclamation point join, it added you automatically. This thing's been busted for weeks. I'm trying to get a new bot that anytime the first time you chat, it'll add you to the wheel, and that way I don't miss anything. Oh, ad is running. Okay. Well, for those out in YouTube land, the ad is running. I'm going to wait for this thing to finish before we've... Holding. I'm not going to spin the wheel until they get back on Twitch to see the wheel. But first name, Johnny, should be on there. Yep, first last Johnny. You're in. This is your last chance. If you want to enter the wheel, you got to give me an exclamation point join. Give me something that tells me you want to be on it. But we'll hold off the wheel for those waiting. We got 2 packs to give away. Whee! I love that little emoji. Cat just doing circles. Whee! So we wait for the commercial. So those at home that don't know, there has not been a single hit pulled from here out of the 6 that usually come per box. That means no secret rare, no alt art, no foil dawn, and what is it? It's foil dawn and something else, and there's like 2. It's like six hits in there. Are we back? All right, good. We're back. So, yeah, I was just talking to everyone on Google, or that's paid for the subscription, and whoever's out there on YouTube land here. But got the 2 packs here, guys. We're gonna spin to the wheel, find out which 2, who's gonna be going away today with these free packs. No hits, And don't forget, there's additional hits because there's PRB locked cards, and I consider those hits as well. Our first winner is... What? Hazelnuts! Congratulations! All right, Hazelnuts. Let's get some, get some rigged in the chat here, guys. Get some rigged. It wasn't you. It's got to be rigged. Hazelnuts, congratulations. We'll see today going to be the day we give out one of the 6 hits. I'm telling you guys, there's more. There's more than 6 hits in these things because they're PRB locked cards. Marco is a hit. That's not even, like, that's just a rare or an SR that you get in the front. Yeah, Daz, that's what I'm talking about. So, awesome cards. I love this set. Honestly, guys, if I had the money, this would all I'd ever give away forever. It would just be PRB until the next PRB, and then it'd be PRB until the next one. I would get a whole case for you guys. I love this set more than anything. So many good cards, so many good hits. Everyone feels good to open. I don't have to worry about those stupid leader packs and going, no, there's some value to be found in every single one of these packs. Killer, absolute staples, Charlotte Pudding, good rare, Marshall D. Teach SR, nice, good staple for a deck that should still see some play. It's pretty decent. I don't know if Emu just outclasses it, but still pretty good. And secret rare, our first hit! Our first hit on the box, secret rare Sabo. Here we go, baby. Oh, Midnight's leaving for the Blackbeard, not for the Sabo. But our first hit, bam, of the 6, 1 of 6, now taken from the secret rare. Not all tart, just regular. Sabo pack here. Love the foiling on these cards. And a Don or Nico Robin. Beautiful. Non-foil. Still nice. Always good to have. I know these are cheap, but gosh, these are so good when you 10 them out. Especially the Nico Robin fans out there. Really good. I love the Don in here. Like, just awesome cards. Every single one just seems to be like a nice little hit. Sabo getting that beautiful foil treatment from the promo up to the nice little, like, extra here. Getting access to the Sabo is actually really important in the new Sabo deck here, I think, right? Trash 1 card from your hand, KO up to one of your opponent's characters at the cost of 5 or less, and up to one of your opponent's characters cost 3 or less. I mean, it can be really powerful here. I bought a playset of those yellow Sabos before the reprint, like $80. Oh, sorry, devs. Sorry. Yeah, because, I mean, they're important cards to have. I'm glad we have more access to promos. This way. I hate seeing you waste the investment, but that's why I love this about the set, because it really opens up and allows people to get the game pieces. And it's why, if you guys listen to my 2-hour rant about TCGs, I think Bandai is currently winning the race. I think anything Bandai has been touching outside of, like, maybe Dragon Ball, because there's just not enough interest in it, I think Bandai is winning the card games race right now. They have the best way to get the pieces affordable and still have chases that are like hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for game pieces that are not essential for you to play because there's other versions of it that make it so you can play those cards. Sai says, I don't think those Sabos are run in new Sabo. Oh, that's a shame. Still, good card. Good secret rare. Secret rares are always good. Prices are going to be tanking right now while the product's getting open, but as product gets later, goes back up. Bello Betty? Oh, wait, that's a black. Yeah, no. The yellow one, Bello Betty. But the black one, the secret rare is a black one. So it's just, Bello Betty can't play that. I run 2, the yellow one pulled and the anti-starve. Oh, yeah, smart. Everyone's playing the Sanji for anti-starve, so that makes sense. A beautiful card, too. All right, we've got Hazelnuts removed. One more pack to give away. Yeah, never forget that starvation on rush decks is always a good strategy for some people. So having an answer to that, very important. All right, Chainlow, our secondary winner. Congratulations. Let's get some rigged in the chat. Shoe Buggy still goated. Lame Wheel. How close were you in this one? Mama Sim. Sai, where are you? You're way down here. What are you talking about? GG Wieners. Only 5 hits so far. Don't forget that Marco's still available in this set if it's going to be in there. Gold Dawn, some of the massive money hits still available. We'll see what we get here. Seems fair. All right, here we go. Let's go. 3 brothers. Brooke. Carolina Devon. Dragon Breath. Nojiku. Oh, it must be. All right. Frankie, good staple rare card. Good 2K, great in the egghead, great in yellow. Bonnie, on play. This one's been seeing some in and out play in the Bonnie deck. Catalina Devon. Onami, nice 4-cost blocker. This one used to see a lot of play. Still good card, good blocker. Nice little cycler. And Jimbei. Jimbei, all right. So this was just one of the really cool foilings packs. Just got a nice little SR. 2 foiling. The blocker is beautiful. Katarina Devon, beautiful card too. This one got printed as a basic comment. I now have a foil option. Great, because this card was absolutely insane. I don't know why most people weren't putting this in here. Just the ability to activate main once per turn. If your leader's Blackbeard, gains double attack, banish, or blocker until the end of your opponent's next turn. That's super good, guys. It's versatile. It's all get out. That's your favorite Dawn is Jimbei? Yeah. See, I mean, if it was foil, it'd be even better, but still. These Dawn are great. These Dawn are great. You could just get to play some of these and just have it your fun. I mean, obviously you're chasing the golds, but still, good card to have. Congratulations, Shane Lu. Got another set for this. Man loves his PRB. So this will be going out to Shane Lu tomorrow when I see him tomorrow on our Veterans Day. All right, guys, that is going to do it for today. 2 packs, 1 hit, 5 left. And we still haven't pulled the Marco. We still haven't pulled some of the other the PRB locks. The only one PRB locked card so far was Trafalgar Law. So still more of those PRB locked cards that I highly recommend you guys try to invest in, especially when they're low, because eventually in future sets, you're going to see a lot of people coming back and saying, man, I really wish I had that Cavendish. I really wish I had that SR that was available in EB. That was really easy to get. So, like, you got to be careful when some of these sets with limited print runs like this have exclusive cards in it. Those cards, on occasion, tend to go up by a lot. I got the Laboon back in the day, Altart. Thing was worth $4. After Blackbeard came out, $80. You hang on to it, and wait for the right audience. You can get some massive value. Raid Chickies? Yeah, of course I'm going to raid Chickies. Chickies is on, baby. Of course I'm going to raid Chickies. Brother, I haven't seen that back. Oh, he's still doing the Cult of the Lamb stuff, too. I love the Cult of the Lamb. He's built his cult. Congratulations to our winners. Congratulations to all for this. Tune in Thursday for the next time I got One Piece content. It's going to be some OP13 matches and some fun stuff. And, of course, next Monday, the Championship Series in all of its glory. Stay tuned. At least 2 packs, if not more. I love my Championship Series. Stay tuned for that. It's going to be a great night. Thank you all for your time today. You're all beautiful. And as always, stay hum, bro.